Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy.
There's no longer cum and kumquats, right? Because that was like a back in the day thing when they first started. Just fuck it, just go.
We're gonna open the show with that, guys. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 550.
This is not a porn site.
This is not a porn site, so if you came here for the porn, shut it down. You came to the wrong place. Anyways, this is our E3 2018 prediction show. We're actually a month out from E3, so we're getting pretty excited. We're going to get to all that in a second, though. My name is Nick Henderson. I'm your host this evening. I'm joined by Brad Simons.
What up, dog?
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
And Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
And instead of doing a regular show this week, we realized, like I said, E3 is just about a month away, just a little bit over a month. And shit is starting to kind of leak out.
Yeah.
So,
should we get some depends?
What does Crispy think
I realized
about that?
as I said that, I was like, that sounds pretty wrong. So we decided this week we're going to dedicate an entire show to talking about our hopes and dreams and things that we think might be there or things we hope might be there. It should be a fun show. We're also going to read predictions from members of the community who submitted them, so we'll get to that. We will answer Patreon questions at the end of the show, so don't worry, we will get to those. Before we do all that, though, I want to remind anyone who's watching us live or listening on the go that you can join our community Discord. It is one of the best places to be right now if you want to be a part of our community. It's free. It's Brad. You mentioned this last week that I mentioned like Discord all the time, but I never actually say what it is because I kind of assume everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, say what it is.
I was gonna kind of see if you want.
Hey, Nick, what's Discord?
Oh, thank you, Brad. Discord is like an online
perfect
chat tool, chat room, if you will. It's weird, but it's an app you download on your phone. There's channels set up for different topics. We have gaming, we have TV, film, spoiler channels for like things like God of War. Right now is a big one. And
it's a place to hang out on your phone that's not like the other crappy social media things because you're talking to people that are just hanging out.
We hang out in there all day. Community members hang out there all day and talk about all kinds of shit.
Post pictures of memes.
It's a great place to be. So if you're not in there, jump in there. There's an introductions channel if you want to pop in there and say, hey, I'm new.
You can get into arguments or, make best friends.
Yeah, hopefully more of the latter. But, it's a great place to be.
You could get catfished.
Fuck. I suppose you could, Brad. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Anyways, if you're interested in that, you can click the link in chat. It's discord.gg/4player. Also, one thing that we've been talking a little bit about behind the scenes that I want to specifically reach out to people who listen to our show, who subscribe to our show, who listen to our show mostly through audio. Maybe if you don't catch the live recording, if you download this on like iTunes or whatever it is, and you happen and you don't catch the show live. We want to know more about how you find our show, or how you found our show, how you listen to our show, what services you use. Do you use iTunes? Do you use SoundCloud? Do you use whatever? We want to know more about that.
I have no idea. We're old.
Brad's old.
Brad's pretty old.
I think
we're trying to gauge.
We're definitely not like in tune with the youth. I don't think any of us here really are.
I guess not.
But
the point is, like, we're just trying to gauge. We want to kind of figure out things like,
I'm calling you out too.
The youth culture?
Yeah, you don't know anything about youth culture.
I'm hip with the kids.
Fuck you.
I'm fleek.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Well, that's our show. Good night, everybody.
Like, look how long it took us to actually adopt Discord, for example.
I don't think it took us that long.
It did. It fucking did. Discord was around for a long time. And
I don't think it was like...
Guys were... I used it...
You know what else has been around for a long time, Brad? Communism.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoa!
But I feel like we're finally warming up to it. Right?
The point is, if you're walking around or driving your car right now as you're listening to this, if you're hearing my voice enter your ear holes right now, and you're not watching us live, and you listen to our show on the regular, we want to know how you get our show, how you found our show, what you think, what you would like to see us do to make it easier for you to get the show. Would it be worth our time to put the show on Spotify? That kind of stuff. And if you have some insight into that, I ask that you email me, nick@4playernetwork.com, and let me know what you think.
Can we get our show on Bumble?
See, maybe I'm not as hip. I don't know what that is.
Nick's old.
I'm old. Anyway.
Oh, Bumble's like Tinder, but for attractive people. Right?
Oh,
that's why Nick hasn't heard of it.
Oh my goodness. And anyways, and last but not least, you can also support us on Patreon. This podcast is funded and supported by Patreon predominantly. You can also subscribe to us on Twitch. We appreciate that too. But if you're interested in supporting us, the best way to do it is through Patreon. Patreon.com/4players, where you'll find us. Anyways, enough about that.
Live stream from Winamp. I'm telling you, that's how I am. I don't know how anybody. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I've been listening to podcasts for a very long time. I go to websites or use an RSS feed, and I download the MP3, put it in a podcast folder on my computer, and drag those podcasts over to my phone.
This fucking guy.
I connect my phone via a cable and drag the podcast into my podcast folder on my phone.
Oh my God, you might as well send away for a fucking tape in the mail.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what we're necessarily...
Brad's the kind of guy that opens a Chrome tab and types in google.com.
I get the show by carrier
Please
pigeon.
open my email, Google.
No,
Thanks,
you got to
Brad.
type the HTT down.
Yeah. Do you also use Real Player?
Oh God, I use QuickTime. Come on.
Oh my God.
I don't have much of a
Anyways, y'all get the gist. We need to get into the E3 predictions, but
Yeah.
seriously, if you have any insight or you would like to share or help us influence how we kind of grow the show, please send me an email, nick@4playernetwork.com. I'd love to hear from you. Anyways, let's get to it. I want to start, before we get straight into E3 predictions, I want to address some feedback from last week's podcast. Of course, we do this every week. If you have any thoughts on anything we talk about tonight and you want to chime in, leave us a comment and we will reply to it at the beginning of the next episode. There's only a couple tonight, but I will get to them. Drew327 says, regarding Yakuza 6 and managing the baby, I'm also a newish dad with a 1-year-old, and it really affected how I viewed that aspect of the story. I love the game, but multiple times I said, wow, not realistic at all. I love how Kiryu just dumps him on random women in the game, whereas in real life, you can't imagine how much that would inconvenience someone. Wait,
It's fucking true too.
how much that would inconvenience someone? That's such a light way to put it. Like that just wouldn't work in real life.
Yeah, you could do it.
2, he says, regarding the new Tomb Raider, I think it's a safe assumption it will be more of the same. Once you have refined the tech and the pipeline over 2 games, management feels comfortable letting someone else drive, even if it's to the detriment of the game's quality. See Batman Arkham Origins. We did, because this is we talked about Crystal Dynamics no longer being the main developer on Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It's now going to be the guys who did Deus Ex, Atlus Montreal. Who did Arkham Origins? I'm just trying to
WB Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal. But had they done anything before that, or was that just
No,
like
that was their first game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
They
that's
opened that studio, I thought originally to do, well, I mean,
probably.
not, but that was their first project, was Origins.
And have they done anything since? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Didn't they do, wait, did they not do,
What?
they either did the new Lord of the Rings game, or they did Mad Max?
No.
I don't think
No,
that,
they
no,
didn't
no,
do Mad
'cause Mad
Max.
Max was Avalanche.
Yeah, Avalanche.
And Lord of the Rings is mom.
How about this? If there's
Yeah.
anybody in chat right now who's watching us live on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast,
They did something.
if you happen to know if WB Montreal did another game after Arkham Origins, let us know. I'm genuinely curious. The difference here being, I think it's not exactly the same because Eidos Montreal is a very established studio that's done several big games, including the successful reboot of Deus Ex. Again, successful is not financially successful.
Reboot of Thief.
I'm talking about. Oh, they did that too,
Yeah.
didn't they? Ooh, this could go either way.
Yeah, they did the Batgirl DLC for Arkham Knight,
Okay.
which sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, and they did Lego Legends of Chima.
Wait, you're talking about WB
Online.
Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Eidos
Oh,
Montreal.
I'm sorry. The first thing they did actually was the Wii U port of Arkham City,
Oh,
the Armored Edition.
How was
Did
that?
I remember that?
Not
how was
good.
that? How
The
did
only
that-
thing they really added was like that fucking shock gauntlet.
I
thing that is
remember being at E3,
the fucking worst.
and they in one of the back rooms where they lead media.
Yeah.
They had Batman Arkham Knight, right, on the Wii U.
No, Arkham City.
Arkham City on the Wii
Yeah.
U.
Armored
And I was
Edition.
there playing Kingdom Hearts, like whatever the
2.5.
whatever when they
Not 3.
Yeah, not 3 obviously when they were
Yeah.
releasing it on PS3, PS4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And like I was like, I guess I'll play it. And then the guy just played the whole thing, and he was like, you can watch me play the game. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's a terrible
And then
way
he
to-
was like,
Jesus.
or you can check out Batman on the Wii U. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave.
Damn.
Like this is horrible.
They have 500 employees.
What? What are they working on right now?
I don't know.
Right
It
now.
doesn't say.
Does it-
They do not have.
They don't have a
500
credit
employees.
since 2015.
No.
They've got to be working.
That's what Wikipedia
If
says.
they still exist,
500.
they've got to be working on something. Anyways, let's get.
I mean, at least 50 of those are janitors.
The point is, I think right now it could go either way. Eidos
up
Montreal
all
has
that
had
shit.
has had some ups and some downs. You know,
Well, yeah.
we'll see what happens. And lastly, he says regarding Red Dead 2, I hope everyone loves it, but never forget what Rockstar is. It's quote unquote accept mission, go to location, kill everything, run away. Unquote.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
That's fair.
Yeah, they're getting better at that though. I mean, like GTA 5, that was a lot better.
Yeah, I think you can definitely tell that they're learning stuff as they go. So I don't know. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt until we see what they're doing. I mean, I feel like every one of their games kind of gets better from a design standpoint.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But that was Drew from Seattle. Cantong, never seen a comment from here. He says, "Hey gents, greetings from Perth, Australia. This is my first time writing in, even though I've been listening to you guys for around 5 years. So I'm talking to you. I want your feedback." From
Why don't
Perth,
we get more
Australia.
people actually writing in, like sending us letters in the mail? Remember back in the day when
we
you
might
would, like,
we might start pushing that again once we open the new PO box, because we are going to be moving our PO box. Maybe I'll start pushing
Just
that
like
more. I would
opening
love to.
a
I would love to
letter.
get physical mail more often. Anyways, before I get to my comments, I just want to say how much I enjoy listening to you guys every week. So thanks for the hard work. You're very welcome, sir. All right. Anyway, after listening to last week's podcast about the Revival Club, I felt I had to chime in, as my friends and I have recently started something along the same lines, and I'm loving it. There's 6 of us in the group, all late 20s, and one person decides a retro game that we all have to play. There are some ground rules for choosing the game, including length of the game, cost, if anyone has finished the game before, etc. Can you scroll down a little bit, Chris David?
Chris Davis, pay attention.
As we are all quite time poor, we give each other 2 months to go through the game, and then we meet up to discuss it. We normally play the soundtrack from the game as well as a speedrun clip of in the background while discussing it. I have so many retro consoles, but rarely play them, as there is always something current I feel I have to play, so this is a great excuse to play some old classics. So far, we have played games like Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island on SNES,
good game.
Ghostbusters on Mega Drive, and Lemmings on the SNES. Wow, interesting choices. I think it's a great idea, and we would really encourage yourselves and anyone else to try and do something similar. Keep up the great work. Sorry for the long post. Regards, Paul. First of all, everything that you said about that, I totally mirror. And I'm kind of always thinking about that in the background. I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. Maybe we'll try and figure out a way to do something along those lines, but maybe not as in... Because right now, it's a matter of time, and we all have things going on, so there might be a way to do something kind of like that, but we'll see what happens. But definitely appreciate your feedback. And last but not least, the metal button says, I'm a few episodes behind, so my comment is based on episode 548. On the topic of Norse mythology, I would recommend Nick listen to bands like Amon Amarth and Einherjar.
I don't think that's how you
Most
pronounce
of
it.
my Viking knowledge
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
from metal like those. First of all, I have listened to
Yeah.
Amon Amarth many times. They're a great band. I have no idea who the other one is. I also am kind of... Oh, he also says penis.
That's probably not the best way to find out about Norse mythology, though.
Yeah, I was about
Let's
to say,
be
like...
honest here.
No,
I mean,
that's what
maybe
I'm
if
saying.
they
Like,
sing about it.
But
Dude,
like,
don't you like sing
but
the
Amon
song?
Amarth
That's
is
the
very
only
much
way
like...
they've recorded it.
But like...
Play Odin's.
But like Amon Amarth is not... You know, it's one of those bands... that if you don't listen to metal, you'll listen to it and be like, I can't understand a word they're saying. It's not like I don't think you're going to go into it and really learn much. If you read
they're not folk singers. You don't know what the fuck they're saying.
If you read the lyric sheet, sure, but like I can't remember the last time I actually read the lyric sheet on anything. So
I mean, can you easily translate in the words?
Yeah, that's Kratos. He's upset.
Anyways, Amon Amarth's great. I do like Amon
There's
Amarth. I'll look up the other one.
A new Neil Gaiman book, right? About Norse mythology. It's called Norse mythology.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? Neil Gaiman.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for your feedback from last week. We're gonna talk about a lot tonight. So if you want to leave feedback for next week's show, leave a comment at 4playernetwork.com on the post for this episode, and we will get to it next week. All right, the time has come. E3 2018 is a month away.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nolan had a good idea. We have a lot of feedback as far as like predictions and stuff, so we'll kind of sprinkle them throughout the show. We'll do a few of ours, and then we'll kind of read some feedback or some predictions from the community, and we'll comment on those. Should we start with the big three, or should we save those for last? What do you think, Brad?
Let's
Do
I feel
one
like-
big three. Then some
Well,
riddles.
well, the thing is, what I realized when I started filling out the other ones is like when I was coming up with ideas for some of the other publishers, I was like, oh well, this will probably be in a press conference.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know. Maybe we can do those last and kind of as we go.
Sure. The thing is,
Mention what we think might be in a press conference.
Well, one thing I've noticed this year,
Or-
because they've started laying out their making their announcements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually more press conferences this year than I think we've had in the past.
There are
couple years.
there are quite a few.
Square
this
Enix
year.
is doing a show again. They haven't done that in a
Sure.
while. Ubisoft is of course doing one. There's going to be a PC gaming show again. There's one other.
EA is doing one, yeah.
EA's doing
Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo.
and not to mention they've kind of shuffled around all of the time. The only one that we don't know about yet as far as time goes is Sony, but Sony's the
What
same
about
time every season.
Bethesda? When's that?
Bethesda, I think, is Sunday.
It's
night.
Sunday, yeah.
So here's the thing. That's the good thing. Because so a few of us are going to E3. Some of us are going to be home. And we have not finalized our plans yet for the show itself. We'll kind of talk more about that as we solidify those. But since a lot of the press conferences are on the weekend before, we might actually end up doing some live commentary together, sitting on this couch potentially, of some of those press conferences. So that's kind of exciting. But Brad, I think. What do you think? I'll just let you pick one. And we'll roll with it.
I mean,
Is that too much pressure?
We can mention something like Nintendo, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
because they're not going to have a lot of third-party support, right?
Well, that
Probably not much at all, no.
I mean, they will, but
I mean, a little.
All right. Well, let's talk about.
I mean,
Nintendo.
how do you make predictions about that kind of stuff?
All right, so Metroid Prime 4.
Okay. First of
Yeah.
all, getting ahead of yourself.
Okay.
Nintendo is
Yep.
doing a. They always do the same kind of thing. It's a Nintendo Direct. Wasn't last year's only like 30 minutes? Or was it a full hour? I don't remember. But they're doing a Nintendo Direct.
So last year, it was a fairly quick show because then they just got into let's play Breath of the Wild for like 48 hours.
Yeah, that is true. Which was cool.
So I mean, yeah, no, that definitely was cool.
And they did make some big announcements. Like last year, we got the announcement for Metroid Prime 4. We got the announcement for the Pokemon game coming to the Switch.
Samus
announcement.
Returns.
Samus
We got the
Returns.
announcement for Samus Returns. Simultaneously
Brought to you
saw,
by Mercury Steam.
simultaneously saw Brad's like excitement and just utter despair within minutes of each other. That was great. But they're doing their Nintendo Direct, I believe, the same time as they always do, which is the first day of the show floor, which is Tuesday.
Yep.
And
There's press hours at E3 this year.
so this is okay. So one thing about E3
Might
this year,
overlap.
last year was the first year it was open to the public, in a very limited capacity, but still it had a number.
Limited.
It still did a number on like crowds.
It was a
and, like-
clusterfuck.
yeah, it was kind of a clusterfuck, and I was a little worried it was going to just keep snowballing, right? But the thing is, last year they kept it the way they've always done it, where the press gets like 1 hour
On one day.
on one day
Yep.
to go in before everyone else, and that was
That's
kind
a
of
PAX thing.
Yeah.
They've never done that at E3.
no, but last year.
Oh, last
In
Last
order
year-
to combat so many public people, they're like, okay, we'll do 1 hour on one day for the media because that's going to
This
be
year-
enough.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I was worried it was just going to keep getting worse and worse, but like I think they're finally kind of starting to find their groove. I think like this year, it's open to the public again.
Yep.
But press hours are like 2 hours early and like an hour later all 3 days.
Yeah.
Which that seems
How
like
did
a
they
pretty...
do an hour later?
They close at 7 this year.
Yeah.
How did
They
they
have
handle that?
enforcers moving through the crowd, looking at people's badges, and just like forcing them out of the building.
Yeah, I bet say that seems like kind of strange. I don't know how that's
That
gonna
might
work.
I thought it was
tough.
just first 3 hours.
Yeah.
I might be not exactly right
Yeah,
about
that's
that, but
that's
it's
not that.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Yeah,
The point
what
is
are we talking
Nintendo.
about? Nintendo.
anyways.
How much Metroid Prime 4 do you think we're gonna see?
Do you think
Well,
we'll even see that?
I
So
think you will
my,
see
my
it.
assumption is that they're going to come out and be like, all right, it's been in development. We've been spending so much time on Nintendo Labo that we had to shift the developer over to Mercury Steam. They're going to take over development.
Dude, we don't even know who the developer
They did
actually
such a good
is.
job on Metroid.
They've been very vague
Samus
about it.
Returns. No, I know
They
been
have
super
been very
about
vague.
it.
What if that was like? What if Nintendo was like, Mercury Steam, do a 2D Metroid, and we'll let you do a 3D Metroid.
No.
They have said it's an internal Nintendo team, is what they've said. Do you think they've acquired Mercury Steam?
They're probably,
So that leads to the next
they're
question.
probably working with some outside. I did write Mercury Steam at the top of my page.
I noticed that on your
because one of my
notes.
predictions is that someone's going to be really sad about Mercury Steam ruining another franchise.
Wait, you mean someone being you?
No, like someone here.
Mercury Steam is going to now
Yeah.
go after someone else's
But I feel
franchise.
like it's always Brad. Like it's never.
Well, that is my
It's
life.
Castlevania, Metroid.
That is my life, but I'm saying now it's time for someone else.
I think that's
know?
wishful thinking.
No, I'm saying, it could be like Onimusha or, we'll get to some other predictions,
Mercury
right?
Steam's going to do a remake of Final Fantasy IX.
I'm saying Mercury Steam is going to be doing something that obviously someone's not going to be happy about. Because no
Maybe,
one's
yeah.
going to be happy about Mercury Steam fucking with something.
What
Well,
else does Mercury Steam do?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That must suck to be.
Mercury
I mean,
Steam.
it's not just us, right? Like that. They have a bad rap everywhere, right? It's
No,
not.
yeah,
I'm so like.
like-
I feel like I'm so
Oh, yeah.
tainted by like the people in this room.
ever
who,
read,
by
like,
me,
have a-
but say me.
Have you
I know
ever
what you
read
mean by
like
Brad.
interviews with the head of that studio? Like he's so defensive.
Oh yeah,
Because
what-
that's
what's his
all they
name?
Their
get.
management sucks.
Like
That must suck to be like. They get such high-profile projects that theoretically should be exciting.
Listen, some people will defend like Lords of Shadows, like the first one, and some people kind of like the 3DS game. Not everyone completely hates them as much as me, right? But,
Which 3DS
most
game?
of those people probably didn't play Jericho.
Which 3DS?
Samus Returns.
Oh, Samus
No,
Returns?
the
yeah.
Castlevania.
Castlevania,
one.
yeah.
Sorry.
I keep forgetting that
And you know what?
exists.
Like most people were pretty happy about Samus Returns.
It was mediocre as fuck.
Yeah, I'm curious what they'd say like now that there's no hype for that thing anymore. But
I swear to God, if they officially
history's not going to look back on Samus Returns.
if they
fondly,
officially
is my
unveil
guess.
History's going to forget about Samus Returns.
if they officially unveil Metroid Prime 4 and then announce that it's Mercury Steam working on it, I'm gonna shit a brick. One, because like I remember the first time they announced Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and I
Yeah.
remember thinking like that looks amazing. And then we got it, and it was kind of like this is
okay.
God of War.
I could be misremembering, but isn't the whole way that Mercury Steam got in bed with Nintendo on Metroid in the first place because they were working on a prototype like first person shooter that they wanted to sell as Metroid?
Oh no.
I don't know about
that
that.
sounds familiar though.
There was something like that. I don't remember what it was. though.
You're probably thinking of Armature and that first person Mega Man. Remember that?
No, Bomberman?
No,
the
Armature
first-person
first
Mega
person
Man.
Mega Man that
Oh,
got
yeah.
scrapped.
All right, we got to move on
Let's
from
move,
Mercury
yeah.
Steam.
Well, no,
we-
what I'm saying is, fuck Mercury Steam. What I'm saying
Of
is,
course.
Metroid. Do you think we're actually going to see like extended gameplay?
No,
No.
if anything, I think we'll get our first look at like a cinematic.
It'll be a
trailer or
cinematic
something.
trailer.
or maybe not even cinematic, or just. I mean, it might be in engine,
2019 release?
But yeah, it's not a 2018.
No,
release by
2019.
any stretch of
if
imagination.
even.
Okay.
If even.
What else from Nintendo?
Well, the thing is, Nintendo's. So the past 2 years, it was first Breath of the Wild, and last year was Super Mario Odyssey. Their booth has been built around. They pick one game and they like fucking push the
I
shit
know
out of it.
the one
That's
game this
true.
year.
It's Super Smash.
It's gonna be Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It's got
Smash.
to.
I- in fact,
yeah, it'll
it's
be
gotta
Smash.
be.
I'm almost
Okay, so
positive
here's a
they
big
even
question
confirmed
about
that.
Smash: New Smash or port?
I
with-
think it
with
has
new
to be.
characters?
So I think hold on. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a port. I think they're going to do one, but I think they're also going to announce a new Smash. I think.
weird. though.
Why? Why? I think they're gonna have. Like, why not?
I don't think they would. I don't think they
Because
would
I
build
feel like
their.
if they were doing that, they would have got the port out sooner.
I don't
Maybe.
think
I mean,
they're
they
going
could
to
always
build
announce
their
a date, like,
entire-
oh, the port's out today. They'll do some shit like that.
I don't think
and
they're going
then-
to build their entire booth around a port.
It's not. No. So, I know their booth's not gonna. Their booth is gonna be around Smash. Is what I'm saying.
But you're saying
It's
you
gonna
think
be
they're
all
going to
about
announce
Smash.
another one? Like
So-
that's.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They need one on the Switch. The question is, are they doing just a port or are they doing a new one? I do think there's going to be a new one, but I would not be surprised if there was a port as well.
There's 2 other games I think that could be big enough for Nintendo that they would do their booth around.
Pokemon.
Obviously, it's not Metroid. One would be a new Pokemon for Switch,
which they've already said they're
promised,
working on.
We could find out about that,
but there's also talk
possibly
about that
a new
being a
Animal
port.
Crossing. I think you could do an Animal Crossing.
I don't know if they would do a whole thing around Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing's huge.
I know Animal Crossing's big, but I don't think they'd do a whole.
Also,
booth
what if it
around
is Pokemon?
The thing is with the Pokemon too, because they announced a core Pokemon game for the Switch.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about that possibly being a re-release of what
if it's a
red and blue,
booth?
but in the newer style
engine or whatever.
You know what I mean?
Ugh.
There's talk about that not even being a real new entry in the franchise. That's not all. None of that's official talk. That's just people kind of speculating based on what they've said about it.
What if it's
so
a
far.
cardboard booth?
What if the whole booth's made of cardboard?
So
Okay, you
hold
have
on.
to
So
build
I
your
do
own
I do think they're gonna announce Smash. I think they're gonna have new characters
Any special new characters?
I think there's gonna be some
predictions?
people from probably Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Well, they've already shown Breath of the Wild Link.
No, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about like
I bet
maybe
they
one
will
of the
replace.
Guardians.
I bet they will. They will replace any Zelda characters in that new game with the versions from.
That's if it's a port.
So Zelda will be the Zelda.
None of it was a port. If it was a new one,
I don't think there's any chance of this being a port.
Huh.
I mean,
I wouldn't say that, but
I think they're gonna probably have some sort of cardboard character, like a Labo character.
No, I was
in
gonna say
Smash.
I don't think they're gonna have a Labo character. I think they're gonna have a Labo item though.
Oh, they'll
Like
have
maybe
or-
there's a new item where it gives
Fuck
you
that.
the robot suit.
fuck that. A Labo map,
Okay,
a stage.
Oh, yeah, for
made of
sure.
cardboard.
here's my question:
Definitely.
Any chance
Or
of
snipper clip stage. That
any
would be
chance
cool.
of now? Keep in mind, Smash has always done deep cuts. You've had people like
some bullshit.
like ice climbers. You've had Game and Watch. You've had some obscure characters. You robbed the robot.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Any chance that I'll get any Wonderful 101 representation or
No.
Advance Wars representation? I feel like Advance Wars, it has to happen eventually, right?
You would.
It's
so
been
hold on.
around
They
since the
had
80s.
They
only
had the support items in the last one.
They did. The only reason I
but
say there would
The
be
second to last one.
That's a deep
the
cut.
only reason I would say there would be an Advance War character, Brad, in a new Smash game is if they announced a new Advance Wars game.
Is there any chance of that happening?
It's possible. I don't see why not. They own the IP for it. They've done nothing with it for however fucking long.
Yeah,
It's
the Advance Wars guys were working.
Isn't it-
They're the ones who did Codename Steam, and obviously
Yeah.
they're not going to make another one of those.
Yeah.
So maybe Advance Wars.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wait, go back to that.
They need more games.
Chris Davis has pulled up a tweet from who's that?
GameStop and Play.
Okay, so GameStop apparently has entered 15 unknown Nintendo Switch games in their computer.
but that's not surprising.
Yeah, it just looks like that. Maybe they'll have more than we're expecting. It'd be nice to see Nintendo bring some new shit.
Do
Any deep? Any?
you think we're going to see that new Switch Fire Emblem?
No.
But that is confirmed to exist, right?
Yeah,
Dude, I think that's
it
more
is.
likely than seeing a new Advance.
I think we're gonna see
Well, sure.
Mario Odyssey DLC. I think there's gonna be
Yeah,
more
I think
of that.
there'll definitely be a Mario
I
Odyssey
think
DLC.
Bayonetta 3
Bayonetta,
will
I
be
think was the
there.
other one I had on here,
Do you think
yeah.
anything else from Platinum? They do have a close relationship. There's a lot of unknowns as far as Platinum's 18 projects that they work on at any given time.
Yeah.
No one knows what
101
Kami is.
sequel?
The thing is, there's always one or two surprises from Platinum at E3, almost every single year.
Yeah.
What was I saw a era thread about the Nick. Who's the dude? The Liam Roberts on Twitter. Who's a whatever. The point is, he had shared some. He had done something with his Twitter profile that was kind of hinting at the leak with Rabbids, back before that was confirmed, and he had posted an icon, or it changed his Twitter profile picture to a face of Mario, but if you zoomed in on his mustache, there's a tiny little picture of Wonder Red. Right?
What?
In the mustache. You had to zoom in really close. And someone started a thread saying, look, he updated his thing, and if you zoom in really close, there's a Wonderful 101 thing, and people were like, "Oh, this is dumb," and they closed that thread. But that guy, he after he just changed it, he changed it again.
Mm-hmm.
He changed his
To something not
his Twitter profile again, and I'm wondering if he was like, "Oh shit, they found out too
Too soon.
or too soon, or they weren't supposed to find that
So you're
out.
saying maybe
he knows something is what I'm saying.
maybe there's a Mario and Wonderful 101 crossover with
No,
Platinum?
no.
He's just saying
No,
that
no.
a Wonderful 101.
He was hiding something about Wonderful 101 in the mustache. I don't think there's anything related to Mario at all. I'm thinking, could that suggest Smash representation or a Wonderful 101 port?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Wonderful 101 character in Smash.
I hope so.
Or, even a port would be nice.
Yeah.
A sequel.
A sequel would
Not
be
likely.
lovely,
The
but
thing
I
is,
don't know
feel
if
like they
that's
would
gonna
have to do
happen.
it. I think at this point you would have to do a sequel because the control scheme is so different. It would be such a pain in the ass.
If they-
Kami has said that a port is possible with the touch controls.
Oh,
Which
well,
is
real
Absurd.
quick on Wonderful 101 possibly being in Smash. Brad, what do you think? Would it be better if they just had individual like main cast characters as characters, or would it be better if they had a character that was the wonderful one
Yeah.
one
I think
below,
that's what they
and
should
it was
do.
a mob of characters, and like every attack was like a different character doing something.
would be dope
and
as hell.
as
That
like
is
you
what they
lose
should do.
health, like the mob kind of like
Yes.
starts like dwindling.
yes.
That'd be fucking
Yes,
cool.
that's exactly how they should do it.
see, that's the kind of shit right there that would make me excited for Smash.
And you do like there's Super Smash or whatever they call
Yeah.
it, and you see like all over the screen like the drawing of like
Oh
a big
yeah, the
hammer or
fucking
whatever.
Wonderliner.
Yeah,
Like,
or like the W.
I feel like that shit writes itself.
It does.
Oh my god.
No.
They could have a stage that's the fucking Wonderful 101, the robot at the end of the game.
One
It
thing
would be a deep cut.
Deep
Thing.
cut.
I'm gonna just call this.
Is
the
this
deep
gonna be
cut
the deep cut show?
Yeah. So
No, it's the E3 prediction show.
the E3 deep cut show. Anyways, let's. What else is Nintendo? Nintendo theories?
Here's I have a prediction.
Okay.
I think we will see a new Joy-Con with the proper.
That's
D-pad.
probably
and we brought this up a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, I do agree. I think they are probably going to they're going to release some new accessories, some first-party accessories. I think they just recently released like a dock.
Yeah, no, it was like a
charger.
It was like a $20. Was it 20?
No,
It's a
isn't-
charger, not a dock.
I know, but
sorry,
it is a dock.
It is sorry.
that
I didn't
just
mean
charges.
dock. I meant a stand.
yeah, it's a
It is
stand that
charging
charges
stand.
it and holds it upright so you can play it.
Yes.
You know.
I honestly do think we are probably going to see more accessories like that. I think that's going to be one of the. They're not going to have that during their direct. That'll be during the treehouse.
And you know-
So
Oh,
this
not
would be when to bring it up, but they released details about their online service,
Yeah.
including like the first 10 games that they're going to be giving to subscribers, which are all, of course, mostly just any predictable. I think they're all predictable NES games.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
nothing amazing there. But you need like a good D-pad to play those. So you know,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want to take one crazy Nintendo stab in the dark. I don't expect for any particular reason to see this here, but it makes sense to me. I think Nintendo at some point might try to venture into like Hearthstone territory.
What?
with Pokemon maybe.
Well, I mean, maybe like just like a full range of licensed like Nintendo characters.
That's a bold
but
prediction.
like
I
a
like
really
it. I
like
it.
a really simplistic but like flexible card game involving like Mario and Donkey Kong and like all of their
That-
properties.
I would not be.
Well, so
that's-
we have seen like similar stuff in the past. I mean, Pokemon Pinball and kind
Yeah.
of stuff like that. But that just made me think, the Wonderful 101 Battle Royale.
Everyone's a different.
They have
level
one more than all their competitors.
They have one more. Everyone's 100, but now they're 101.
I would play the shit out of that game.
Could you imagine that?
Oh my
Man.
god.
Oh my
I
goodness!
don't want that.
And then
That
fold
is
in
cool.
some of the stuff we were talking about last time we talked about Battle Royale, where there
Yeah.
could be something with like the fucking Mother Platinum, like someone could get a power up that they're like a giant robot,
That's-
or like a Geth Jerk ship or something.
Oh my god,
I mean,
that's interesting.
We're not
Also-
doing traditional news topics, but
Yeah.
we didn't talk about Thanos last week.
No,
did
we didn't.
So stupid.
What?
But
Fortnite.
yeah, he's in
You could just
Fortnite.
play
They built a
as him.
mode around.
Oh
it.
yeah.
You get the gauntlet, you just play as Thanos. He
I didn't know
flies
that.
and stuff.
It is.
And they didn't. They
So
somehow
bizarre.
resisted the urge to do like some kind of cool shit where like if you get the gauntlet and become
there's
Thanos,
no
you snap your
snap.
finger and
I
remove.
don't. How is that
Like,
not a thing?
kill half of the
How
people
is
in
that
the
not a
game.
thing? It's all about
Like if it was like
calling
a
the
really
numbers.
difficult to get item or something, but you had it and you
I
could just
know.
like.
How was that not a thing?
That-
I
like-
thought when I heard that he was in, I thought for sure that was the thing, and I was
Well,
like,
the
that's
way you
cool.
would do that is other players find the gyms, and you have to go and kill the player that has
No, it's
the
just
gym.
a gauntlet. on
Yeah,
the
but he
map.
just gets it and
I
like
know,
shoots
I
like
know.
beams out of
It's
his hands.
basically like Battlefront or something.
It's almost like it was a hastily
I'm
thrown
Luke
together
Skywalker.
promotion.
If we had an award at the end of the year for biggest missed opportunity, I think that might be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for Nintendo.
Nintendo. Real quick, last thing, like what they keep talking about Super Smash and how like they're gonna have like a competition thing, in the middle of their booth and whatnot. But like I'm wondering if like Smash would be a big part. But what if they like pull a switcheroo and like the booth is really Metroid themed and it's all Metroid and Smash is just kind of a
Metroid's just not big enough.
Yeah,
And Japan doesn't
unfortunately,
give a
it's
shit.
not.
Well, I guess it's not a Japan
I mean,
show, but
the thing is, E3 would be a good place to do that because it's full of people who I think appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that is accurate.
The people who go to E3 pay a lot of money, like the public that go to E3 pay a lot of money to go to this show. I think there'd be a lot of people.
But see,
that
I think
do care
Metroid
about
is
that.
too soon for it too early on to be booth worthy.
True.
You know
I
what
mean, the thing is, both Metroid and the Pokemon RPG they mentioned last year seemed so fresh. It was almost like they had just made the decision like an hour before the meeting to even make these games. Like, just make a graphic and put it up in the Nintendo Direct.
One more Nintendo prediction: Are we going to see? I think we're finally going to get to see what the fuck Retro Studios has been working on.
Oh yeah, that would be
that's
great.
true.
Like, what is it?
I mean, yeah, the
Another
studio-
Donkey Kong side scroller.
I don't think it's gonna be that. I think at this point,
Donkey Kong
if it
Desert
wasn't-
Oasis.
thing is, if it was,
What about Donkey Kong Country 2?
do you think? Well, no, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
No, I was wondering if like they don't have. There's no-
How successful was Super Mario Odyssey? A essentially reimagining of Super Mario 64, not open world, but huge thing. That was like
wait,
Donkey Kong.
what was
what
your
do you
what was
mean
your
Country
guess?
2?
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean Donkey Kong Country. I meant Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, like a 3D Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
like a Donkey Kong 64. Like
Donkey
a,
Quest.
Yeah, something like that.
Donkey Kong 128. I've
There
been
you go.
wanting it my whole life.
Donkey
Yeah.
Punch.
You think that person
Sorry, that's what I meant. But yeah, like that
With
was the
more
big thing
guns.
that followed up. Mario 64 was like an open world.
That
It
Donkey
couldn't be
Kong
like
game.
it couldn't be like a Diddy Kong Racing kind of situation, could it?
I don't think they're gonna do Diddy Kong Racing just because
But
Mario
there could
Kart's
be
so
drivable
big.
vehicles in the game.
Yeah.
Is Diddy in? Whatever.
Yes, Diddy Kong is in Smash Brothers.
No Mario
I mean,
Kart.
not
We've had
Smash,
too many Mario Karts.
I don't
think
Give
we're
me
gonna see-
Diddy Kong, damn it.
Chris Davis, we just had a port of Mario Kart. I don't think we're gonna have a new
There's
Mario Kart.
too many
this
Mario
year.
Karts.
Ubisoft.
Hold on. Oh, one more thing. I don't know if we
Hey,
did mention
real
it.
quick.
I do think Nintendo will probably get a lot more about the Labo, not during their direct, but probably during the treehouse.
The next,
we'll see
the next stage or whatever you want to call it.
Because what the fuck's going on? They
I don't
announced
think
like
it's been doing that well.
but because there's nothing to it, they need to announce. They need more. They need more cardboard
It
shit.
I think it
Brad.
hasn't been selling. Especially in Japan.
Labo bongos for the new DK, as Green Goddamn in chat says. Can we read some feedback, like a prediction from chat, and then
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not from chat, from the post. First of all, thanks to everybody who left their predictions on the post. Well, actually, maybe we should do it like this. We should.
How do we do this?
I don't know how we want to do
I
this.
wasn't really. I mean, I knew there was
Actually,
gonna be
sorry.
some feedback.
I'm gonna think about this for a second. Let's go ahead and keep doing what we were doing. You said Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Here's my big prediction.
Beyond Good and Evil
I'm just
2.
gonna, as we go
no,
through this.
my prediction is no Beyond Good
You
and
think
Evil
so?
2.
We just don't even hear. They don't even mention it at all.
No.
I think maybe a new cinematic trailer.
They came out and said it's going to be at E3 in some form.
In some form.
I mean, it's probably be a trailer. I don't.
But
think
like, given that footage that we saw like a couple
That,
weeks
like,
ago, that was just
yeah.
like, this is still not a game.
Nothing
Like,
footage,
what are they
like,
going to
yeah.
show at E3?
Here's how we're gonna do this. By the way, I'm gonna just as we go through them, I'm gonna look for predictions related to.
Okay.
Whichever
Okay.
one.
Well,
I
we're.
got your answer for that, Brad. Wild.
Oh, what? How is Wild also still a thing?
yeah.
They're both like Michel Ancel games. What the fuck?
Wait, which one was Wild?
Ghost Recon's Wild.
Wild? No.
Wait.
Wild.
Oh, Wild.
That was also in a Michel Ancel game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You think that game's still happening?
Well, now he's working on Beyond Good and Evil 2, so how was he still working on that? That was his own like team.
I bet. You know what? I bet Wild's gonna be there.
I bet Wild.
No, I bet it's going to
canned.
be there. I bet it's going to be there because Beyond Good and Evil 2 is so far out, and Wild was in development for a while.
No. My prediction quietly canned.
Yep.
Quietly
I'm with
canned.
Brad on
Quietly
that.
canned.
I hope you're wrong. That game actually looks pretty cool.
What is Wild?
The one with the big lady, the
Yeah.
snake lady.
Oh, a big lady?
Yeah, the big snake lady.
It was the one where you could like what's the word? I'm
Possess
thinking?
animals or
Possess
something?
animals and stuff, and
In the wild.
it was like a big open world, like,
Yeah.
Like a bear,
Mm-hmm.
and then like an eagle.
and there was a big lady.
There's a big snake lady.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer like that, but I thought it was just like Far Cry or something.
I've got
Assassin's Creed.
I've got an Ubisoft related prediction from a
Alright.
community member.
Okay.
This is from Tack TAQ.
Tack.
I think we'll probably mention him a lot because he has a lot of predictions here. But he has his Ubisoft-related wild card. This is one of his deep cuts, Brad. Mm-hmm. Ubisoft unveils a tie-in game series for the upcoming Jack Ryan TV show that Amazon is producing. Bonus points if they bring on John Krasinski to be a part of the game.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
No.
Wait, John Krasinski.
John Krasinski
He's
is
in a
Jack.
TV show.
Can you say that again?
In the
John
Jack Ryan
Krasinski
TV
is
show.
going to be Jack Ryan in a new
I didn't know
TV
there was a
series from
Jack
Amazon.
Ryan. Oh.
It's an Amazon show.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do remember.
And his wild card is they unveil a tie-in games series with the upcoming show. And he said bonus points they bring in John Krasinski.
Isn't that just Tom Clancy shit?
Yes, it's Tom
Yes.
Clancy's Jack Ryan. That's why he's saying it would be at Ubisoft.
Tom Clancy's version of James Bond.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Why not? I mean, you haven't seen much action on
Cheaper
on
suit, less gadgets.
new Tom
more...
Clancy games. But I
haven't-
don't think
Brad,
enough
you haven't heard of
people
Tom
are
Clancy's
over
Jack
violence.
Ryan, John Krasinski?
I have. I know what you're talking about.
Sponsored
Like
by
fucking
Alto.
clear and present
Brought to you
danger or
by
whatever,
Gatorade.
Right?
But, like,
Fucking
that's an
Harrison Ford used to be that dude, right?
There's been like 4 actors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
Alec
Pine has
Baldwin,
been-
Harrison Ford.
There's been a lot of people
Ben
playing.
Affleck.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Ben Affleck.
yeah.
The Sum of All Fears. Yeah, that was
Oh,
Jack Ryan.
God, movie sucked.
Jack Ryan.
I think most of them,
just-
with the exception of Hunt for Red October, have been kind of sucky.
Yeah, Hunt for October.
I'm sorry, Patriot Games. Was
Yeah, I was about to say
amazing.
Patriot
Oh,
Games.
I forgot that was I forgot about
Patriot
that.
Games was.
So, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's an interesting prediction because I never would have thought of that. And he is right. There is a new series coming out. The thing is, it's an Amazon show, and I don't know how many people are actually going to watch it because it's an Amazon show. Who the hell?
I think
knows?
we're gonna see a new artsy fartsy
indie game.
indie game from like what is the engine that they use, like the UbiArt engine or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like how they made Child of Light, and then they made the one about World War One that made everybody cry.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Hearts.
Yeah, Valiant
Valiant
Hearts.
Hearts.
Oh, that was a cool game.
Yeah, that was a good game though. We'll see.
Yarny. Wait, no, sorry, that's EA.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think we're gonna see a new Just Dance game on the Switch
I'm
where
not
you have
pretty-
the
I
Joy.
think that's a pretty bold prediction.
What about?
There's
what about
always a Just Dance booth.
What about some other open world online connected extreme sports game, a la Steep or whatever the fuck that was?
Sports.
yeah.
Extreme sports.
I don't think Steve did so good for them.
No, I know they're gonna switch sports.
They're gonna switch it up. they're gonna have like it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a sport, but it's gonna be focused on like skateboards, and it's where you put your switch on the ground, you stand on it, and then you can like skateboard.
There's Labo support for it.
I've got another Ubisoft prediction from SMG Sterling. He says, "Oh shit, where'd it go?
I don't know.
Skull and Bones release date with a proper gameplay trailer."
I forgot
that's
about
right.
Skull and Bones.
I mean,
I think everyone did.
I feel
over
like
it.
that game is like, as we get farther and farther away from Black Flag, it kind of becomes that game that they kind of just need to release and
Yeah.
I
get
think
out there.
as we get further and further away from
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
I think they need to
Yeah, I
just-
think they just need to get it out there and be done with it. And I don't think that
Man,
game is going to
poor
do
Sea of
well.
Thieves.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll show this year and it'll look amazing,
No,
but
it
like
won't
I
do
don't.
well.
It's probably not going to do well. And the Division 2, right? That's the Ubisoft, right?
That was a
Yeah,
leak,
Division
right?
2 will be there.
He also says the Division 2 details. This time you will actually be able to open and close car doors like they showed in the trailers for the first one.
What about playing on the tablet with the drone and shit?
Probably see some Far Cry.
That was a fucking big thing they touted when they first showed the game, and then they were like, meh, nope, not gonna do that.
Probably see some Far Cry.
Wait,
DLC.
you think Far Cry is gonna be there? We just got Far Cry 5.
Far Cry
DLC.
Oh, DLC, yeah, that's pretty.
There's a
Because they have
third
the three
sibling.
planned.
Fourth.
No, well they already announced them.
Oh, really?
They're like 3 themed.
Yeah, isn't-
DLCs,
I didn't
kind of
see
like
this.
Blood Dragon.
Isn't
or
one like
whatever.
in space or something?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
one
that's
kind
kinda
of
cool.
One takes
you
place
know.
on Mars. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a fourth that makes it have a good ending.
Lol.
That
Oh.
is, shots fired.
Yeah, I mean that was an easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No
That
one,
was an easy one.
also no one can hear you.
What's the word? Oh, I had a thought and I fucking lost it. It was Ubisoft related. Shit.
Watch Dogs 3.
That's not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna see that.
You don't think so?
don't think
Here's
so.
the thing. Okay. First of all, we're gonna kind of when we kind of come across it, we'll bring up the Walmart leak. There's like a bunch of games that Walmart Canada leaked, quote unquote leaked, and people are still debating whether it's real or not. One of the games on there does say Assassin's Creed, and even though Ubisoft has said Assassin's Creed is now they're sticking to their
Every other
biannual
year, yeah.
release, or not biannual, that's two
Semi-annual.
semi-annual release. like, who's to say they're not going to announce it? Like, show a cinematic trailer.
They
or
could
something.
announce something.
I can't remember how long was it. Like, when did we find out about Origins? Was that
Isn't semi-annual 6 months and biannual?
no? But I think biannual was like twice in the same year.
No, we need to figure this out
That's
before we go.
biannual, like twice a year.
No, 2 years, every 2 years.
That's-
Semi-annual
No.
would be like semi like half, right?
I remember.
Oh, who? EA.
Wait, no, are we already moving on from Ubisoft? I feel like there's a lot of. Are we done?
What does that say?
Biannual occurring twice a year.
Twice a year.
I feel like Ubisoft.
Okay, now look up semi-annual because it's the same thing.
Oh, for
They don't have a word for 2
say
years.
something. Say an Ubisoft prediction.
What
EA.
fuck off.
I can't read.
Think
that.
about Ubisoft. It could come back up in the Sony or Microsoft press conference.
Oh
EA.
shit.
Yeah,
They do mean it has
it's the same thing.
They do. Fuck.
There is no word for 2 years.
They're synonyms. Who did this? Who did this?
Fuck English.
Unravel 2.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're on EA now, huh? Oh god.
There was a tip
EA.
that there was a tip that
Just the
That's
tip?
Yarny, right?
EA is just Anthem, Battlefield, and Yarny.
Chris Davis, click on that.
Dude, I think they're gonna go. They're gonna go
There
hardcore
was like a
on Anthem.
substantiated tip.
I think EA at least like half is gonna be all about Anthem. Is what I'm.
Yeah,
assuming.
The thing
sure,
is, Anthem
for sure.
is potentially huge.
it has to be.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna fucking just dive.
We know
right
it's going to be there.
Deep
What's
into
your
it.
prediction?
It's gonna suck. I don't know.
Is it going to underwhelm or is it
No,
going to
I think it's gonna
impress?
underwhelm.
I think
Here's the thing. I think it's going to look like it's impressive, but I think it's going to underwhelm.
Ultimately, like when we play it.
It's going to be like The Division. It's going to look amazing, and then when it comes
wait.
out,
So it's going to show well. You're
Wait a
saying
second,
it'll show well at
exactly.
E3.
Wait a second. Back up a second. What? Name the 3 games again.
Anthem, Battlefield.
Oh, okay. You said Battlefield. I was
Yarny.
like, they've pretty much confirmed the new Battlefield's going to be there.
Yeah, Battlefield Battle Royale or whatever.
So we have a prediction related to Battlefield from Tack again. He says Battlefield 5 cinematic trailer that plays on Battlefield 1942 nostalgia.
no.
No, that's pie in the sky. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of people kind of want to return to the 1942 style, huh?
World War II is like, come on, man. You did it with Battlefield 1. People bought it. Do 2042.
You don't think they're gonna do Battlefield 2, right, and do it World War II?
do
They
futuristic.
did Battlefield 2.
Did they?
Yes.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they did Battlefield
do
2.
the future.
Battlefield 2 was that was what was so funny about Battlefield 1 is because they never done a Battlefield 1. The first one was 1942.
That series just confuses me. I don't know. But like, this is probably. Let's be real. This is probably gonna be one of those games that's like definitely battle royale, right?
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
I mean, probably
They-
something like that.
They did confirm, unlike Call of Duty, it's gonna have a single player component.
Awesome.
Yay! It's not gonna be
Anything else
good.
from EA? Any surprises? Any more Star Wars games? Oh God! How did they fumble that shit so bad?
Dude, I don't know. Like,
We were like optimistic when we were like, okay, yeah, EA is gonna be handling Star Wars, right?
deep cut. I've got a deep cut. They're gonna surprise us, right?
Amy
not-
Hennig's
No,
gonna
no,
walk
no,
out
no,
on
no, no,
stage.
no, no.
Oh, wait,
Shut
no,
your mouth.
no.
Shut your mouth. They're gonna surprise
You
us.
can't just say deep cut.
No, deep cut. I got a deep cut. Deep cut. Dead Space 4.
That's not a deep
Yeah,
cut.
right.
That's
You
unrealistic.
fucking wish.
Wait, I thought unrealistic is what a deep cut is.
No.
No.
Deep cut's like Desert Strike.
Yeah, that would be a deep cut. Also, we're not using it properly, but like, yes,
I'm
he
sure
gets
we've
it.
used it in about 4 different capacities so far. So
Also, we might see Respawn Star Wars game.
Okay,
Respawn Star Wars.
he brings up Respawn Star Wars games.
I'm
They're
gonna go
still.
with no.
Oh, dude.
Hang on, wait. So semi-annual is twice a year,
Shut the
right?
fuck up!
Like, and biannual is every 2 years.
No one
No.
cares.
Twice a year.
They're both twice a year.
Yes.
That can't be. It's like flammable and inflammable. Like, that's wrong. It shouldn't be.
He just crumpled up his notes.
Okay. Okay. That's all right.
I'm gonna call this the biannual show, just to confuse the shit out of people.
Perennial.
Oh, I wrote down yawn, or I had my wife write down yawn next to
Yawn?
EA.
Oh,
Oh yeah, of course.
You asked
wrote
her
the
to
li-
do that?
Per usual.
Well, she wrote the list while I
you-
was feeding my
I'm
baby,
pretty sure
so-
Brad just yawned. And
you
she
asked.
wrote it down.
You asked your wife to take time out of her day to write the word yawn on your notes.
Dictated
Yes.
but not read.
All right. Well, he just read them, so.
SquareEnix.
Oh, here we go. All about the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh no! How much fucking Final Fantasy 15 do y'all think they're gonna have? There? How much do you think they're gonna have?
Oh my
So much.
god! It's like I thought it was bad with 13,
Right?
right? But at
Dude,
least
it keeps coming. I get so many emails from Square Enix, and it's this Final Fantasy, and then I see like 15. I'm like, God damn it, delete.
at
I
least
just
with
deleted
13, they
immediately.
were like new video games.
Yeah.
This is just like, ugh.
Weird
fishing.
shit.
Final Fantasy 15 fishing.
Oh
And
God! So
And
here's a
Gordon
bold
Freeman.
prediction. Here's a bold prediction. An announcement in tease.
Wait, I missed an EA prediction.
Okay, well, hold on.
Sorry.
Let me finish my sentence and we'll go back. I think you will see an announcement and a tease of Final Fantasy 16
I'm also kind of in the same boat there.
I don't think so.
because they're that stupid.
I
Do you
don't
think
so.
they're finally going to go back to a more traditional fantasy?
If they don't, I'm done with Final
Well,
Fantasy. I'm done with
so
it.
another bold prediction for Square Enix I have is they're working with Yasumi Matsuno again.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay. First of all, at some
What?
point,
Like maybe working on the MMO
Maybe-
was like easing him back into.
Yeah, and he worked with them when they remade Tactics Ogre, because that's Square Enix as well, obviously. But it might not necessarily be Final Fantasy 16. I think it could be like a new Final Fantasy
spin-off,
Tactics.
okay,
Shut
Brad. At some point, it becomes less of a prediction and more of just like you hoping to God that's
No,
what's
but
happening.
I'm saying Square Enix has been kind of lacking in like reliable talent. I think lately.
That's a deep
Well,
cut.
or is it more likely that indicates a return to a tactic style system, or more of an indication that they're going to do something set in Ivalice?
I don't think it has to be Ivalice, but
Something in that vein.
especially because they just did the Ivalice stuff for
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
But
I really think they need to.
I think they need
if they want to,
reliable talent because people look at Final Fantasy and like laugh.
yeah.
And
Well, now they do.
that doesn't happen with the Matsuno game.
I think-
it's like the opposite.
while you're right, I think the bigger focus here, not necessarily about specifically like a specific name they need to be working with, but it's more of like just on an overall like standpoint from the series. They need to kind of remind people that Final Fantasy is not all just like the past 2 games, 5 if you include all 3 of the Final Fantasy 13 games. They've all been like kind of semi-futuristic with like all human characters. Like they've gotten so far away from like the high fantasy stuff.
I mean, the
But
high
the
fantasy
MMO,
stuff
right?
has existed pretty much exclusively in the MMOs
That's where they've had it
Since-
all.
since 7.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I feel like if they announce Final Fantasy 16.
All
And it
like,
looks
like
pretty.
they would only do fantasy
I
like
mean,
in spin-offs, like they did the
10 had quite a bit of fantasy in it.
So
Well, it did, but it was like
It was still like
it was
a
like a
predominantly-
post-technology
Yeah,
society
so, yeah,
apocalypse,
And it was
kind of
still
thing.
predominantly human cast. Like you
Yeah.
don't see Final Fantasy 9 anymore. You don't see Final Fantasy 7 anymore. Like
Yeah.
they need to go. Like I would love to see them go back and make a Final Fantasy like a bigger budget, obviously, but like in the same vein as something like what's the studio that keeps cranking out those like classic JRPG? Is it JRPG Factory?
well,
What's
no,
what's the game I'm thinking of?
Tokyo Factory or something like that. Right?
Like the kind of isometric like top down.
Yeah,
Classic
like I Am
JRPGs?
Setsuna. And
Yeah, I Am
Lost
Setsuna.
Sphere.
Like if they went back and made like a super big budget or Final Fantasy game that looked maybe a little bit more
I
like
think
that,
maybe they were
it would
kind
be
of.
amazing.
I think maybe they were kind of like
Thank you, Tokyo
testing
RPG
the
Factory.
waters with that new team, and maybe they were gonna do maybe a Final Fantasy with them. But I don't think people
I'm
like
not,
those games.
No, I'm not saying I want that studio to make Final Fantasy 16.
You're saying
I'm
in
just
that
saying
style,
they should
like
go
that.
back to that style, make something that is similar in style to something like Final Fantasy 9.
I don't think they're going to.
I know, but like that, like if you want to talk about deep cuts and things that I want, like my dream, if they went back to that style for Final Fantasy 16, I would be back on board in a heartbeat.
Sure, but
But I think it's more likely we'll see Final Fantasy 15.
I think
too.
it's more likely they might give a Final Fantasy to Yoko Taro.
Oh.
I would still love to see that. As
I mean,
opposed
I
to
would
Final
prefer
Fantasy.
that to what we've been getting.
He's probably got some clout now that Nier Automata.
That's
is
what I'm
such a
saying.
thing.
There's not a lot of like talented
Yeah.
names that people respect there. Yoko Taro is now one of them.
Dude, that would be it. That would be a huge like thing. Like I would be so excited to see what someone like Yoko Taro
Yeah,
can do with
but
Final Fantasy 15.
would he
Or
want
Final
to
Fantasy.
do that?
That's the bigger question.
I think.
well, I think while we're on that track,
They give him Final Fantasy 16 and he makes it like a play.
while we're on that track, my one of my big predictions related to Square Enix is that we will see something Nier related. And I'm not just talking about there's the rumored like remaster of the original Nier. I'm talking about we'll see a tease for the follow up to Nier Automata.
It's gonna be called Near and Far.
Also on Square Enix, I think Tomb Raider's gonna underwhelm.
Oh, of course.
I think
I hope you're all fucking wrong, but you're probably
this
right.
is Square Enix, but I don't think it's gonna be at their press conference. I think Square Enix, does it happen before Microsoft?
It happens on Monday.
Yeah.
So I have a prediction that's related to Microsoft.
No, Microsoft happens on Sunday.
Yep.
Square Enix happens on Monday.
Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. We know that Square Enix is working on an Avengers game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And this is going to
That's Crystal Dynamics.
This is going to relate to WB as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Microsoft is either going to have Avengers or the Rocksteady DC game
Mm-hmm.
in their press conference to kind of counter how big Spider-Man is with Sony.
Maybe.
You think?
Yeah.
That's a pretty... Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think this is definitely the year we see both Rocksteady's game and the Avengers
Yeah.
in some form.
I had both those predictions, but both of them, I strongly believe that Microsoft has to like get not as an exclusive, but as promoting it as their own, or maybe an exclusive. I
Like
mean,
a timed.
but I don't think Marvel or
aren't we at the
Warner would
point
let
now
them.
where a timed Xbox or Microsoft exclusive is just kind of like a stranglehold on the game? Like,
I mean,
it's gonna kill
sure,
it.
but you know what? If it's a big enough IP, I mean, Spider-Man's going to do just fine, only being on PlayStation.
yeah, but I mean, PlayStation also has a much wider install base than Xbox One.
I don't think it's going to be exclusive. The thing is, with Sony, they own Spider-Man in some
Yeah.
with like films and games, right? So they can do exclusive. I don't think Marvel would let Avengers only be on one system.
No.
I don't think. Maybe Warner Brothers would make a deal with Microsoft.
And there are some people who speculate, like, there's someone in chat, like, what if it's a Battle Royale game? I think this is specifically like a... They have explicitly said
Do we
said
know
this is
anything?
a action game.
we don't know anything about it.
We don't know anything about the Avengers.
No.
game.
No.
We just know it's Crystal Dynamics.
God, that could go...
along with
That can go either way, man. I don't know.
Crystal Dynamics with the help of.
By the way, I have a Square prediction here. Several, actually.
Well, real quick, I just wanted to say, I think Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah.
is going to have something Final Fantasy 15 in it.
Oh.
Like, you remember in Final Fantasy 15, like, the demo you played early on when you're, like, the kid and, like, the big, like...
Yeah.
I think they're going to do some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts, you'll go to the Final Fantasy 15, like... Kind of...
You go to the Final Fantasy 15 demo world?
Sadly, I believe that, but I was hoping that they would get something related to Star Wars or Marvel, especially because they're not doing any of that Disney Infinity shit anymore. They could probably throw Kingdom Hearts a bone.
You guys kind of scoff at the idea of the Avengers as a battle royale game, but I could definitely see them doing that. Like if they did like an event like Avengers or something, but if they did like, I don't know, something like Secret Wars, like the event they did a couple years ago, which literally took place on a place called Battle World, and it was all these alternate reality versions of all the characters. Like, think of like how Injustice 2 handled
Sure.
But I don't
that
think
shit.
that's what this is, because Battle Royale games hadn't blown up in.
They've been working on this for
Until after they
years.
started talking.
Yeah.
Maybe they had an Avengers game and just threw it away.
I mean,
I'm
started
sure that's
making a
happening
new
in a
one.
lot of studios right
That's
now.
frightening.
Yeah.
That's frightening. Quick from King Carey, he left some Square predictions here. He does mention the Avengers project. He expects to be there, obviously. In relation to the Walmart leak, Just Cause 4 was one of the games on that leak.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's time for that.
The last?
I feel like
Oh, I guess that was
Avalanche would.
I mean, the last game they did was Mad Max. We haven't heard
Or
from
was
them
it
in a
Just
while.
Cause 3? Which was more recent?
Mad Max.
Mad
Max.
Max. was
Absolutely
after
Mad
Just
Max.
Cause
That was
3.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Really?
Yeah, I remember playing that at E3. Oh no, that was PAX, wasn't it?
I feel like Just Cause 3 and Mad
It was on
Max
my
came out too
2015. It was on my 2015 game of the top 10 games of
It's
the year.
too soon for Just Cause, is what I'm saying.
You think so? I mean,
I think both those games came
here's
out like
the thing:
pretty close
Just
to
Cause
each other.
4. Just Cause to me is a series that's like it's like a big open world sandbox game, but it's never been like a I hope people don't jump down my throat for saying this, but like to me it's never been like a super polished open world game. So it seems to me like something they can maybe crank out in like 2.5 years and like cash in on a sequel for that. I don't know. It's always been kind of janky, hasn't it?
3 was
Yeah, hasn't that been half the charm?
Fair
Well,
enough. Yeah.
Kind of.
2 was amazing. 3 had technical issues.
I mean, I'm speaking as someone who's never really played Just
yeah,
Cause. I'm
fuck
just-
you.
I really like 3.
Anyways,
liked what
more
I
from
played of
him.
3.
More from him. Final Fantasy VII remake new trailer.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
obviously
I
we're
think
not.
we'll get that at Sony.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. It'll probably be on the Sony stage. It'll probably be a trailer. And the thing is, this will be the
We're
first
gonna
time we've
jerk
seen the
off over
game.
it.
This will be the first time we've seen the game since they pretty much confirmed that they scrapped a pretty big portion of what they had. 'Cause
Well,
they
the
were
stuff
working.
that CyberConnect 2 was working on.
Yeah, and didn't they scrap it because they weren't happy with what CyberConnect 2 was doing with it?
I don't know if it was scrapped completely, but they were kind of talking shit a little bit about CyberConnect's the mess that.
The thing is, I think this game is nowhere near as far along as some people are hoping because of the fact that they scrapped a certain portion. Because I know they said something about like they scrapped some portion of it, and I think they've taken the development for the game completely in house
Yeah,
now.
I mean, ultimately, I think it doesn't matter because it's just going to be a grimdark train wreck anyway. So who gives a shit?
That's
Okay.
fair enough. I hope that game comes together in some way.
It'll be something.
Why do you laugh at me so much,
No, I'm
Brad?
not
Why do
laughing
you laugh at me?
I'm not laughing at you. I mean,
Just laugh at my optimism.
listen, I
Fuck
love
you.
Final Fantasy VII, but then
You want it to fail.
But then they merged with Square Enix, and everything that was ever attached to Final Fantasy VII became garbage for all the wrong reasons. Like they don't even understand what made Final Fantasy VII.
I don't
good.
think we're going to hear about the remake at all.
Oh,
You don't think it's gonna be there?
I don't think we're going to hear about it at all.
I mean,
I mean,
was
they've
part of
done it
the
before.
Walmart
They've
leak,
announced
wasn't
Last Guardian and then waited like 3 years to say anything else about it. It's not the first time that would have happened.
I mean, wasn't the Final Fantasy VII remake part of the Walmart leak? Too?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No.
It
Wait,
was one of the
yes,
SKUs
it
in that
was.
Walmart
yes,
leak.
but like the thing is, you can pre-order that game already.
Oh, sure.
that's
Like
the
that.
thing.
There's no reason that shouldn't already be in the system. Like on any retailer,
Wow.
you can go to Amazon and you can go to Best Buy and you can pre-order Final Fantasy VII Remake, even though that game is probably like 6 years away.
Nick, what was your EA thing that you wanted to say?
Damn, you would ask me that one. Shit. Where the fuck did it go? Hold that thought. Somebody, Jaeger actually said Skate 4 from
well,
EA.
there is a
I mean, that is...
a potentially fake leak, but I don't believe it.
Okay, I have several EA predictions here from the community. Jaeger says Skate 4. I don't think that's likely, but who knows? Tony
I
Hawk
don't know,
fucking
man.
is dead.
It came out of
Skate
Sweden,
3
which is also where
did, like,
PewDiePie is
fucking-
from,
A few years ago, Skate 3 was popping off.
It was, pretty...
because of PewDiePie, because of his videos. So all of a sudden, like people were buying it again,
Yeah.
and this potentially fake leak came out of Sweden. I don't buy it.
Chai Tai said EA has indie darling attempted moment, fails. Chris hates it.
EA, yeah, Yarny.
No, yeah, but specifically, they're going to try that again, and Chris Davis is going to hate it.
As long as Pele's not interviewed in or put in it.
Dude, they're going to do some kind of terrible interview where it's just like, please get off the stage. Please, please, please.
Do you think during
that's
the
not-
EA conference someone's going to yell, fuck EA?
Oh, yeah. So, Tack also said EA related. EA is making an open world RPG that isn't Dragon Age, Mass Effect, or Anthem. That is wishful thinking.
Yeah.
First of all, definitely not Mass Effect. Dragon Age, they have confirmed they're making there is work being done on a Dragon Age game. I don't think this is the year.
I don't think we're going to hear about it.
They want all focus on Anthem this year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was pretty much it for EA. We can move on.
Moving on.
Is there anything else you want to say about Square Enix?
Well, any feedback from them?
No, I think we pretty.
Ultimately, I expect Square Enix to let me down because I've entered a part of my life where I just realized I kind of hate them and I don't expect them to ever make anything ever
Brad.
good ever again.
Talking to your mic.
Oh yeah, fuck Square Enix is what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
I'm still excited for that press conference. I hope they really pull out stops and surprise people.
Does
Okay.
anybody have anything to say about Activision Blizzard?
No. It's gonna be Call of Duty. It's gonna be Battle
Yeah,
Royale.
Call of
and
Duty.
They're going to be
zombies.
talking about the Destiny expansion coming out.
Yeah.
Well, they don't
What are
have
we
a
talking
press
about?
conference, so whatever they have is either at a big press conference or on the floor.
I predict they open the Microsoft press conference with
They-
Call of Duty either zombies or whatever their new multiplayer mode is, which is probably going to be some form of battle royale.
Plus, you're not going to get anything Blizzard related there because they've got their own.
Well,
They've got BlizzCon.
Yeah.
At the
True,
end
maybe,
of the year.
but you've seen them do stuff with Sony before.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What about Diablo 4? Are we there yet?
Maybe we might get. Yeah, I guess it's probably been about time to get our first few like hints at it.
I don't know, but there's such a Blizzard's such an ambling mess when it comes to
They
producing a new game that, I mean,
It's pretty bad.
even 6 years out, I don't think it's time. Like,
I mean,
you know,
the rumors out of Blizzard are that they're working on a first-person shooter.
Blizzard's working on a first-person.
yeah, it's called
shooter?
Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's not
A non-Overwatch.
A StarCraft.
There's going to be some
first
Overwatch
person
somewhere on
shooter?
that stage.
Oh,
somewhere.
of course.
No, like
Maybe they're going to put Overwatch on the Switch. Maybe we'll see that on
man,
Nintendo.
StarCraft Ghosts. It's time.
Can we do one more quick one before break? Another super quick one that
You're wasting time. Just do it.
Just do it.
real quick? you're on the clock.
Bamco.
Oh, Bamco.
Bamco.
I put Bamco on here.
Okay, well,
we
first-
know Soul Calibur's going to be there.
Yeah,
okay.
Soul Calibur will be.
Yeah, they have
Do you
one.
see maybe a new guest character?
They are making appointments for a new unannounced multiplayer game.
I know they have like some sort of collection re-release of a lot of the Naruto Ninja Storm games coming out that might be their
Exciting.
big anime.
There's
entry.
one unannounced game that's in the line. That's in the the meeting lineup, right? Or the meeting.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer game though.
Oh, it's multiplayer.
I don't now. They're showing Soul Calibur 6. What's the other one?
Dark Souls, I think.
Yeah, new Dark Souls.
No, that wasn't on the email that I got.
No, I'm assuming that's what
It was Soul
we'll
Calibur
see that.
6. Oh fuck, I forgot what the other one was, but it was not Dark Souls. It was something else that I'm not particularly excited about. And then the last one said unannounced multiplayer project.
I hope that they use E3 to announce a cool new Tekken character
Where the hell is Code Vein?
for Tekken 7. Yeah.
Code
it's
Vein.
still coming.
Yeah, but like, they're showing this to people not at E3. Why is this not at E3 in some form?
Well, it might be on the floor.
Where's Ace Combat?
No, on the
They were
floor
showing that
maybe.
really
it might be
hard.
on the floor.
They were showing
That's
it.
that's
a lot,
kind of stuff that's far enough along to where it might be
That
on the
Ace
floor.
Combat didn't come out.
Mm-mm.
No, not
It'll
yet.
probably be at the floor. It's weird. I figured the thing is I still to this day haven't
Multiplayer
seen any
game, though.
Code
but
Vein
you think of
at all.
Bamco and you don't really think of multiplayer
No.
though. So what
You
could
don't.
that be? I think we might see a surprise out of them. I don't know.
I hope so.
Maybe.
Is it confirmed that From Software project's not going to be? It's not a Bandai Namco project.
Only
It's-
Dark Souls is Namco.
Yeah, Namco.
So that's probably going to be like a Sony project.
probably.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
talk
think-
about that. Sony.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Sony.
Um,
Because I think we're gonna see some of
God,
that.
I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
we're probably going to find out what the fuck that is.
It's
And
I
Bloodborne
haven't-
too.
It's
I-
Bloodborne too.
It's a horror themed
It's
fishing
Bloodborne
Are we
game.
doing this now? 'Cause I-
It's a
No,
horror
we're not doing it now.
themed fishing
We're gonna go to
game.
break.
Obviously, that
We're
was
gonna
a
go to break.
real.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We have plenty more predictions when we come back. We're also going to read some questions from Patreon if we have some time. I know we're probably going a little long, but we'll answer at least a couple Patreon questions. So if you're watching us live, thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this quick break. Oh, look, we're recording. Welcome back from the break, everybody. We still have lots of stuff to discuss.
Oh, like Nintendo.
Welcome back to our E3 predictions podcast.
I forgot to mention Nintendo. It's not a prediction, but it is news. They confirmed, which they said it wasn't going to come out in the West, but now I guess because of the success of World, it is.
Oh, the Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter XX or Generations Ultimate or whatever they're calling it is coming out
Switch?
for the Switch over here, which is kind of cool. And
Yeah.
we'll pick that up.
Good idea.
See?
All right.
Yeah.
Consumerism creates
Yeah.
change in the world.
Yeah.
All right.
So next,
What do we...
I have. Let's go with Konami.
Ooh.
Oh, I already got the email
Why?
from Konami, and I was like halfway through writing.
What was the third thing? The unannounced thing? I thought that was the multiplayer thing. Like Konami's unannounced multiplayer.
I'll
I
check
think.
the email right
Is
now.
on-
Now you got me questioning
It's
it.
gonna be Metal Gear Survive Battle Royale.
Okay, that's like best case scenario, right? Because I think people might actually try that.
No,
Metal
they definitely
Gear-
would.
Metal Gear versus Castlevania Battle
Here
Royale.
it is.
too soon, though,
Here it
right?
is. Here's
Davis
Konami's
would be all
lineup.
over it.
Here's directly from their press email for making appointments. Pro Evolution Soccer 2019.
Of course.
Zone of the Enders second runner. I do want to check that out.
In VR.
In VR.
Yeah, that's
And new title. But where does it say something about?
cool. Multiplayer.
Oh shit! It says something about multiplayer here. Oh.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Huh. Okay. So mobile.
Wait,
crap.
never mind. Here it is. Yep. Unannounced multiplayer title. Then hold on. What the fuck was
For-
Bandai Namco?
For Konami?
Yeah. See, I don't think Namco
Yeah.
was multiplayer.
Uh,
It was the Konami. I think you were thinking of,
you're right.
which is exciting because that could be anything.
You're right.
That could, and they don't have a press conference, so whatever that unannounced thing is, it might be at a bigger press conference.
You're right. Oh, I'm so much more excited about Bandai Namco now.
Yeah.
I'm
And it turns out to be a new Tales game.
thinking about Konami.
I'm
I'm
okay with
trying to imagine like different strategies of hacky development that they could take that they're not already exploiting, and I'm wondering if they're gonna get into like a weird phase where they're just making these like unabashed like crossovers just to generate hype and buzz, and we end up with like a Metal Gear versus Castlevania kind of thing.
Oh God.
Well, you heard that link that I posted that says Namco's had their best year in like a decade or whatever, or maybe not a decade, but their profits from year to year have been going up and up and up
Hey, good for them.
as they've got out of video games.
Good for them.
Their pachinkos and mobile development and health clubs have been doing very well.
Protection rackets.
Bob Guy 13 says Bamco is going to show off some Soul Calibur stuff. This is true. It's confirmed.
We know that.
And hopefully some more Ace Combat stuff.
I'm sure they'll show it off. Yeah.
Konami though.
But yeah, we're talking about.
Oh,
I
we're
mean,
on
it's fine.
Konami?
He can.
Yeah, we're
we
on
can.
Konami.
I
He
don't
can
think
go.
any-
He can talk about anything we've already talked about.
I don't think anybody submitted any predictions for Konami, to be totally honest.
Yeah. I wonder what that multiplayer
Unless
game
it's to
is.
say that they're going to be shit.
Multiplayer thing. I mean, I doubt it's a multiplayer Castlevania game because they're already doing that for phones.
Watch it be another fucking like multiplayer Silent Hill game.
I mean, that's not gonna happen.
I know it's not.
I don't know what this is, but
They only do things that make them money now.
What if it's something cool and exciting? What if it's like a multiplayer?
Do you want me to make
Contra
the
game?
appointment? Because I'm going to feel like a dick if I make the appointment and then I don't go.
You should absolutely
well, actually,
go.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go anyways because I want to play Zone of the Enders
Send
in
Chris
VR.
Davis so he can fillet the Metal Gear Survive people. No, not a hand job. Your mouth, Chris Davis.
the hand is reserved for the balls, Chris Davis.
Remember when they took that picture of us playing Metal Gear Survive and tweeted it out from their official account, and just a bunch of people replied to it with like, "These people look like they're having a terrible time," and I was like, "That's just my face."
They took that picture before we started playing the game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, how about Sega Atlus?
Ooh.
Other struggling. No, Sega's doing fine.
Well, deep cut would be Dark Cloud, right?
Yeah.
That would be a really deep cut.
Dark Cloud 3,
Deep cut.
DC
Dark
3.
Cloud 3. That would be like my shit a brick.
I would be
announcement.
surprised.
But
Did you say Dark Cloud? What did you say?
Dark Cloud?
He said deep cut.
Did you turn your ears off?
Deep
bud?
cut
we're talking
Dark
about
Cloud.
Sega.
Deep cut 3.
You just said
Atlas.
Atlas, Brad.
But Dark Cloud is Sony.
No, it's Atlas.
Dark Cloud. That's level 5, published by Sony.
Is it?
Oh.
Atlas
fuck
is
am I
like
thinking?
Persona and like Shin Megami Tensei and
Oh.
And-
It's gonna be some weird Persona dancing
so
game.
there is
Well,
a
I mean,
there's
yeah,
a
we
yeah
already
that
know
stuff's
about
going to
the
be there on the
Persona,
floor,
yeah.
I'm sure. There's that Shin Megami Tensei game for the Switch that they had.
Oh, yeah,
like an exclusive game that could be there. But
We have triggered the Persona
Anything-
5 Battle Royale predictions in chat.
anything from Sega though?
Dude, you want to, like, I would be over the moon,
Yeah.
over the fucking
Valkyria
moon,
is probably going to be
if
there.
we got a Alien Isolation 2.
I mean, maybe not that, but maybe something from
Something completely
Creative
different.
Assembly.
Maybe not that thing that you're excited about, but
But I could imagine being excited about something.
No, maybe something from Creative Assembly.
wait, why not Alien Isolation? If
Although
it
I
was-
thought Creative Assembly had announced that they're making something else that's
so,
right?
why not? Why not? What makes you think they wouldn't do Alien Isolation?
I don't think it did all that well.
First of all,
And critically, it was very
I feel like
mixed.
most games don't do as well as they as they predict, but that doesn't stop them usually.
No, yeah.
Unless they just flat out don't make a profit on it.
I just don't think people are very high on that universe right now.
Not really.
You know, all these movies have been driving it into the ground.
That game, I shit you not, is the best like alien thing outside of the original Alien.
That might not be true. There's other really cool stuff. I mean, there's really cool like Alien vs Predator games.
That 2000.
There
one
is
was-
not
was pretty
there is
good.
not an Alien
2001?
vs Predator game that is better than Alien Isolation.
I mean, there are very different things, but the one from
I've
Rebellion, the one from Monolith,
played
those are
the one-
both.
I've played both of those games.
Which
Wait, no, I've played Rebellion, the one from Rebellion.
that
Was that the first-person shooter where you could do like a marine, an alien,
Yeah.
or a predator?
Yeah,
I mean that one's old.
Mm-hmm.
it's 360.
No. You're
No,
thinking
there
of
was,
Alien
like-
vs Predator by that one was also by Rebellion, but I'm talking about
The
the original good one,
Well,
not
first of all,
not like the reboot.
like you said,
good one.
totally different game, and
Yeah.
I specifically want Alien Isolation too.
Sure. No, absolutely. You're. It's good to.
If they announced nothing else that I wanted, and I got Alien Isolation 2, I'd be happy to see 3.
Alpha Protocol 2. Yeah, Sega. I don't know. I think
Sega's
Valkyrie-
gonna have a new
Valkyrie
Total
there.
War game.
I think you're gonna see stuff like Kiwami 2 on the floor. Maybe in Valkyria.
No,
on the
no, you will
floor.
see like Kiwami too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
There's always a
I doubt
Yakuza.
we're gonna see the new Yakuza series game at E3. I think it's too soon for that with the new protagonist.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool if they did. I put this up on like Sony's press conference, but with the hype of Zero from last year, do you think Yakuza is big enough for a press conference mention now? Like not big as in like set the world on fire financially, but like enough cool like exclusive cred. Like you can only play Yakuza, you can't play Yakuza on an Xbox, so we threw like a quick trailer in our press conference, like trailer reel. You know what I mean? I think it would be cool if Yakuza is now hype enough to where it pops up there.
That would be cool,
That
but,
would be
like,
cool. Just like a
I,
cool.
That'd be
I also
good for
feel there's been
Yakuza.
like 5 Yakuza
Yeah.
games in the past like 2 years.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like I said,
Do we
there's
need
been
another
more
one?
Yakuza games than there has been years
Yeah.
since 2006.
Yep.
When the series started.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Like it's.
Do you think
I could list them up and it would blow your fucking mind.
Do you think they might
Please
get
don't.
around to bringing like some of those other spin-off ones that they
No, I
did,
don't
like
think it's ever gonna happen.
the feudal Japan?
There's 2
ones?
feudal Japan ones. There
That'd
was.
be fucking. I would play the shit out of that.
I can.
That-
I have.
That
I have
sounds more
Ishin.
interesting to me.
I have
than,
the PS4 feudal Japan one.
That sounds more interesting
There's
to
a
me
good
than
guide.
just them playing Yakuza 6.
But like,
Anyways,
Okay,
not
so
much else to say about
Sega,
right?
yeah, new Sonic. Maybe a new Sonic
Oh,
Mania.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably a follow up to Sonic Mania. some kind
I
of
have
DLC.
THQ written on here, although I think THQ said they're not really going.
I don't think.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that they're the publisher that they're skipping E3 to watch the soccer game.
okay, but
Like the
that
World
doesn't
Cup.
mean that we might not see more Darksiders
Oh.
there.
Wait, my mic might be low. I think my mic is out.
Well, that's good because I'm the one talking, Nick.
Is my mic low?
You look fine. I'm looking at it. You look fine.
Am I okay?
Oh well, you're not okay, but your mic's fine.
Do you guys think we might see? I feel like Darksiders 3 we have to see.
Yeah.
I would assume Darksiders.
It'll probably
3,
be
yeah.
at on a stage show though.
My prediction is that game is going to be way more of a Souls-like than you could probably initially tell from the early footage we saw.
Probably. I mean, like the thing about Darksiders is it's always been kind of
A
like
ripoff.
Well, I mean,
But a
a
good one.
little.
yeah. I mean, but like it's more of just like they've all been kind of like homages to like
Yeah.
particular.
And I feel like
styles,
now's
like
the
what's
age
popular.
where you want to rip off Souls games
Yeah,
because
everyone rips
Oh,
off
those
yeah.
are the cool ones.
But like I
And
would
that's exciting,
I would
yeah.
absolutely play a Darksiders game
Yeah.
that's like a Souls
Yeah.
like.
What about, is it too
They
early?
could call it like Dark Souls. Oh wait.
I feel like after the bomb of Agents of
Darksiders.
Mayhem,
I'm with you.
Okay.
I feel like after the bomb of Agents of Mayhem and then kind of like the Deep Silver was bought by THQ.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're kind of
I wouldn't be
back
surprised
under
if
the
we
same
saw
roof
Saints
again.
Row.
Like a tease, right?
Like
just
it's
as like, hey guys,
a hint.
I know
We'll see-
this was a disaster and y'all didn't like this game, y'all didn't buy this game, but Saints Row, it's gonna come.
They show some Johnny Gat or something like that. and
What about
then,
guys? They didn't they just recently announce the Red Faction Guerrilla remastered? Like,
remastered.
Remastered. Who's like that seems like strange timing. Maybe they're gearing up for a new Red Faction.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
That would be
but it
amazing.
could just be like THQ just doing kind of safe things to put money in the bank.
I mean,
By the way, I'm totally gonna play that Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered.
well, why not?
It's on PC.
It's a good game. Like a Red Faction battle royale.
God damn it! If I hear Battle Royale one more
Dude,
time,
Red Faction,
But that
Guerrilla's
would be an
multiplayer
awesome battle
was
royale.
Dope.
Red Faction's
the
the
fucking
Guerrilla's
packs?
multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
And you had the fucking ostrich hammer
You
thing.
had
and
like
you
the
fucking-
Quake pack and the.
Dude, it was
Did
great.
you just drop a building and
Yes.
kill like 20 people?
Well, I don't know if you couldn't kill them dropping.
I mean, in
buildings
a
on
battle
them.
royale
Could you?
scenario.
that would be dope.
I just smashing people with hammers was amazing. man.
Also, back in March, Activision's licenses for a bunch of Nickelodeon properties expired, and THQ immediately bought it up.
Nintendo properties.
No, Nickelodeon properties.
THQ is just
Nickelodeon.
basically becoming old THQ again.
Yes.
The only thing they're missing is wrestling.
I mean,
Maybe they'll get that
some
back.
Things like Avatar,
Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
TMNT.
Don't
That's
care.
still pretty big.
Avatar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, like the last
But
Airbender?
like Brad said at the beginning of this, THQ is not
SpongeBob.
going to be there in any significant capacity.
Yeah.
I think the best chance that we see
They'll be
anything
upstairs.
is going to be like no, I don't think they're going to be having private showing rooms. I think that studio is like sitting it out.
All right, my prediction: Darksiders kiosk in the Microsoft and Sony booth.
And I bet we see it on stage at like Microsoft or Sony.
No, I don't think we
so.
will.
I don't think so.
Really? You don't think that's stage worthy?
I mean,
It depends on what they have.
This is a
I
prediction
guess.
show, so you're welcome to believe that.
You can say whatever you want.
I think we'll see it on stage. At the
Warner
Konami press
Brothers.
conference.
I think we're finally going to see Rocksteady's,
Okay. Oh,
Superman?
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Superman?
and it'll be on a stage.
All right,
Whatever it is.
This is guys. I think you're right. I think this is absolutely. There's a lot of people that wrote in this week that think we're going to see Rocksteady. I hear about it a lot. I think this is absolutely when we're going to see Rocksteady's
Urban
game.
Chaos Riot Response 2.
First of all, no.
Sure.
What do we really think it's going to be? Crispy has his money, or at least he has his hopes and dreams set on Superman.
And Henry Cavill will walk out on stage
Yeah.
with a mustache.
Whatever it is, it's so depressing because I'm sure when they started this project, they had high hopes that like Justice League would be like good, right?
Okay.
You know, like I'm saying it could be like a really dope Superman or DC game, but there's still like this sadness attached to it that no one cares about the DC or cinematic universe.
If it is a Superman game, I just hope it's not like... I mean, Rocksteady did a really good job with Batman. And
Yep.
they did a really good job of capturing the tone and, the feel of a good Batman story. I just hope they don't make the same mistake that Warner
Don't you
Brothers,
say it.
the movie studio, did, and think that tone and that feel and that color palette can just easily swap over
to
into
a
Superman.
game. Oh,
No,
oh,
into Superman.
Superman?
If they're making a
No.
Superman game. If they
No.
like, I don't want them to look at, because that's what Warner Brothers did. They looked at like the Dark Knight and all that, and were
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll just do that, but with Superman. I hope Rocksteady, if they're working on a Superman game,
smarter
they don't
than
do
that.
that. Like,
I don't think it's going to be Superman. Is there a hot DC character right now?
Flash.
Flash is pretty big. Black Lightning's been doing
You know
really
what?
good as a TV show.
I'm gonna say right now, my prediction is that if it's not Superman, I think it has.
What have they been focusing
I think it's more
on?
likely to
Teen
be another
Titans.
Batman game set in
Oh.
a different part of like a different version of the
Yeah,
universe.
Teen Titans, maybe.
Like I think we're more likely to get something like Gotham by Gaslight or fucking
Dude,
Batman Beyond or something.
Say that.
Fuck
Oh,
that.
Batman Beyond would be fun.
How about
Fuck
Ninja
that.
Batman?
It's gonna be a Booster Gold game.
Okay.
All right, settle down, Tiger.
Dude, but what if? Well, I mean, but what if?
That's a deep cut.
What if?
I
I'm
think
just saying.
we're most likely to see the new whatever. I mean, NetherRealms is working on. It's probably a new Mortal Kombat. Hopefully, by this point, they're doing something kind of like fresh and new with it because that Mortal Kombat 09 kind of like got people excited about NetherRealms fighting games again, and then Injustice was big, and then they did another Mortal Kombat, and then they did another Injustice, and they all kind of reviewed well, but I think everyone's ready for them to kind of reboot.
You know what?
Reboot it again?
You know what? Why can't NetherRealms do something that's not a fighting game?
I don't know.
Why are they
that's
so...
Injustice?
They're a fighting game developer.
So we actually at my house
They have in the past.
we just got a copy of the Legendary Edition of Injustice 2, and I will say, like, the DLC characters for that game were a lot better than the first time around. They had some really there was a lot of interesting ideas going
Ninja
on in those
Turtles.
DLC characters that is like I kind of feel like they have more juice in the fighting game tank. See, the Atom in that game is so cool.
They had cool ones in the first
The
game, too,
TMNT
honestly.
stuff.
Like cool
I feel like they're
non-Mortal Kombat, non-DC characters. Like it would be cool if they did like a monster universe, like a horror movie universe, because they've had so many horror game characters. They did Freddy, they did Jason, they did Leatherface,
I still feel
the
like
Alien. They did.
I mean, I still feel like if you look at the first game, like
Michael
there was a lot of stuff in there that, like, I mean, it was new characters and new looks, but like the mechanics were still very much within the realm of like something they might have been, testing out for a Mortal Kombat character or something like that. The stuff that they did in the new one, like some of those new characters are just like really out there.
I mean, that's not even. I don't care. I'm
saying
concede.
if they announce a new fighting game, I would be excited.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's always gonna look like shit because they can't figure out like cool animations. You're always gonna have like stupid looking kicks and.
Yeah.
NetherRealms needs to fire their animator and hire like a Capcom animator or some shit. Yeah. I mean,
Damn, Brad.
no, this is not like news. Like the Mortal Kombat games and the Injustice games still have like 1990s animations.
They are a little
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they're well-made games, but yeah. Okay, that's all I have for Warner Brothers. What is Warner Brothers? What else do they usually have?
I mean, they usually have like
Lord of the Rings thing, but sure, but
Lego. They've always got a Lego thing.
sure, but that's
And
all.
the leak was DC villains.
Yeah, Lego
like,
DC villains.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's real. I think that's even been known about for a
I mean,
while.
that's like too obvious.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But
But
like Lord of the Rings
does
is-
Warner
I
the
think-
Brothers ever have any surprises?
I mean,
Last
I think it was a
year.
surprise when we first saw the announcement for Middle Earth, but that's
Yeah.
kind of that's
Yeah, I mean,
done.
last year they were all about whatever Lego game was coming out and Middle Earth.
I think it's safe to say whatever WB is banking on this year is probably whatever Rocksteady's doing,
Okay, yeah, you're probably right.
and
Uh,
I hope it's something exciting.
I'm gonna go back up to Capcom. I kind of skipped Capcom earlier because it was a little big, I think, before the break. Because I feel like Capcom is ultimately going to probably be disappointing, but it is filled with lots of dreams. Just because
But Capcom's also
Capcom is like one of these old school publishers that have so many IP, they just really don't have the talent to make them anymore.
But the thing is, with Capcom, if we see anything from Capcom, it's gonna have to be on a stage.
Dragon's Dogma.
So Hideki Itsuno,
Please.
the Dragon's Dogma Devil May Cry guy.
Yeah.
So there's speculation that for a long time that it's a new Devil May Cry.
So okay, so here's the thing. This is also kind of relevant news happening right within the last couple of days, in a financial meeting. They talked about that Capcom is going to be releasing 2 major unannounced titles before the end of March 2019.
I'm sorry.
And I think we're bound to see one, if not both, of those games at E3. And I would be, if I had to put money on one of them, I'd say Devil May Cry as being one of those major.
Do people still care about Devil May Cry? I know people don't really care about
absolutely.
Dragon's Dogma.
Not to mention, the rumor was so strong we were going to see Devil May Cry 5 at the PlayStation Experience that
true.
I'd be shocked if we don't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, which is cool, right? But is it like they will out Dante again? Like, I mean, old Dante?
No, I think this. You know what? It's funny we talked about this last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get Devil May Cry 5 and it's like bearded murder dad Dante.
What if it's something like sicker than that?
How so?
Give me. I will
going.
take.
I mean, I
I
feel
will
like
always take. Sicker.
I feel like over the years, you've seen like Kamiya say, "Oh, I'd love to work with my old Capcom IP again and stuff." Like I feel like a new Devil May Cry is not gonna
light the world on fire.
I think that you need a crossover. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like Bayonetta or anything because they're working on Bayonetta 3,
How
but
would he cross over with?
I feel like you need some sort of action game like crossover, something to get people hyped. Just a plain old new Devil May Cry isn't going to be enough.
Well, I think they're sure going to get. I don't think. What would they cross it over with? The only thing I think would make sense with the crossover would be Bayonetta. Like the only thing.
Hey, I mean, just because they were created by the same person, sure, but
No, like even like thematically and like
get
visually
crazy.
speak.
Dude,
I'm not personally. I'm not into that idea at all. I just want to.
Mario and Rabbids didn't make any sense.
Oh, sure.
He's got a point.
Marvel vs. Capcom doesn't make fucking sense, but like they made it work.
I don't know. I kind of like my Devil May Cry to just be Devil May Cry. Personally, that's just me.
Hey,
I'm
Nick
like,
doesn't like when you mix
I'm like a sour.
video
like a
game
good
characters.
crossover.
He needs his characters to be pure.
Who doesn't like a
What if
Shut your-
what
you
if
shut
what if
your
it
mouth.
what if it's a crossover between old Devil May Cry and new Devil May Cry?
See,
Okay,
that-
now that's a crossover I don't get behind.
that's the only crossover I think I would get behind.
That doesn't even make sense.
Like, what
That's
if there's like
stupid.
fucking time travel or something, and he goes back and he's
It's like
talking
traveling through realms.
But no one like no one's happy when you make that.
the Devil
No.
May Cry multiverse only has
Except
two
Nick.
worlds.
Nick's the only
I'm
one who's happy.
I would love that. You get like Ninja Theory Dante interacting and like fighting alongside. Like,
I'm
adult
saying
Dante.
something like you do Devil May Cry cross like Onimusha or some shit.
No,
That's not gonna
no.
happen.
I want
Whoa.
one.
Get-
I want both. I would love both of those games independent of each
That
other.
would
completely.
be cool.
Just something crazy. I want something crazy. I don't want anything boring and
Sometimes
predictable.
sometimes
from
I think
Capcom.
sometimes I think Brad is like the antithesis of like what I want.
Okay.
Devil May
I
Cry
like completely accept that. That's
versus
fine.
the
But what I'm
X-Men.
saying is, it's Devil May Cry. I think they have permission to get crazy because Dante's always been crazy.
Yeah. There's no sanctity of lore to protect.
You know what? I don't. At this point, I just want to know what the hell it is. And if it's a crossover, maybe I'll be excited. Maybe I'll be bummed.
Resident
I
Evil
just
2
wanna- I want it to
remake.
be
Are we
May
going to see
Cry,
Resident Evil 2
Animal
remake?
Um,
Does it exist?
Well, here's the thing. This
It's
like,
not going to be at a conference if it is. I
well,
think it might be
here's the thing.
somewhere
I
on
thought
the show
about this.
floor, maybe.
I thought about this because there was
It could be in a
there's been a lot of speculation about
Mm.
that second Capcom game because I think most people I think are banking on Devil May Cry as being one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one could be anything. It could be Onimusha. It could be Dino Crisis. It could be Resident Evil.
Okay,
I
so
think a lot of people,
Onimusha,
like,
I think got some speculation.
well, that's
some
because they
rumors.
renewed the trademark,
Which is
doesn't mean anything.
Which is no, it doesn't mean nothing.
I mean, sure, but it doesn't.
It
usually
means their trademark expired and they don't want someone else to be able to buy it, so you renew it. That's how a trademark works, Brad.
But listen, man, there's
No.
more to it than that.
No.
When
La, la,
Phantom
la, la.
Dust got renewed, it wasn't because
Remember how that ended?
but they were doing something with Phantom Dust.
Sure.
Or is it because they did something with Phantom Dust because I don't know how necessarily the trademark system works, but they just wanted
That's
to
the
make
thing. I don't
sure
think-
that they're like, oh, well, let's just do something with it.
I would shit a brick if we got Onimusha 5.
we've
or-
seen
Pretty sure all you have to do is write
Just
down the name of
register
the
it.
game and then mail it to
No,
yourself.
I'll use it for-
Yeah. If we get another Onimusha, I'll be happy. But people have been talking about Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7 was, while it underperformed, I think it was still a very successful hit.
Critical
for them.
success.
It was a critical success, and they didn't lose money on it. It's probably just didn't meet expectations or whatever.
yeah.
Some fans are happy.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got another Resident Evil game, but like everyone's kind of assuming if they did that, it would be a follow up to Resident Evil 7. It would be Resident Evil 8. But like, what if it was actually Resident Evil 2 remake, and that was kind of
What are you talking about? That is what.
No, people are assuming that if they did Resident Evil again, it would be a follow-up to 7. But what if it was 2?
But people know that 2 exists.
But like, we haven't heard anything about it in years.
It might be that a tie-in to the Mega Man TV show.
No.
A tie-in to the Mega Man TV show.
What they
Chris
already
Davis.
have the Mega Man.
Chris Davis, first of all, people can't hear you. Second of all,
I was just repeating it for the audience.
Second of
that
all-
wasn't meant to sound incredulous.
they are very specific about this being 2 major PS4, Xbox One, PC, like
Beautiful Joe.
projects, right? I don't think a tie-in to a Mega Man TV series qualifies as like. I don't think it's up there in the same realm as like Devil May Cry 5.
All right.
What bigger
Jurassic
franchise?
Park, hype. Jurassic World, massive success.
Well,
Is it time for Dino Crisis to come back?
It's been time for Dino Crisis for like 4 years.
Was Dino Crisis ever big though?
Dino Crisis was never huge.
Did it ever review exceptionally?
But god damn it, if they made a Dino Crisis the
Dude,
same way they
is it?
made Resident Evil 7, I would oh my god.
Nick would
Alright.
freak out. His game of the year.
7?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, have you played Dino Crisis?
Dude, the original Dino Crisis is a Resident Evil clone. That that is the Dino Crisis I want.
But in the original Dino Crisis, like but the Raptors were like in like the dinosaurs. They
Get it
weren't
out,
like
Brad.
slow lumbering zombies. Like they would chase you down.
No, but
they would go through rooms.
I
You
know.
know, they would respawn.
All I'm saying is it was a horror game in tone.
Yeah,
I
of
would
course.
love to see a return. If they brought Dino Crisis back, I would hope.
Resident Evil 4.
Dino Crisis is a series that has like gone through 3 different genres. It went from horror to action to arcadey action to space or science fiction.
Yep.
So like I would love to see them come back and like pick up on the success, the heels of Resident Evil 7, make a true horror game experience where you're running for your life from dinosaurs in fucking VR. That
But
would be
why do you
amazing.
say 7?
Fucking
Because
VR.
7, in my opinion, was fucking life changing, man. Yeah, I would love to see Dino Crisis done like that.
A spooky mansion filled with dinosaurs.
No, it doesn't have to be a fucking mansion, but like I would love to be enveloped in the world, same way I was in 7.
Enveloped by a dinosaur.
Ooh.
Enveloped completely and utterly by a dinosaur. No, not sexually. Moving on. What's the next one?
This one's still on Capcom.
Oh, okay.
This one's out there. For whatever reason, I have this feeling that we might, and it's crazy, right? Because it, like, you know, killed Clover. I think we could see like Capcom do something with Okami again.
Okami 2?
We're talking about bold out there predictions.
I mean, they did just do the re-release of Okami. I mean, I feel like that, if anything, is to get that back.
it's been
in
on a
people's
lot
minds.
of like systems.
Like I said, I could see Okami easily being on the Switch.
they did Okami Den, which was a
That
sequel.
would be cool. I would play that on the Switch. I would love to see
That's
a
what
return
I'm
to that series.
saying.
Yeah, maybe that sounds cool. I
The
would
Switch
love-
version has the touch stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Anything else?
The first one,
Capcom.
touch stuff. 2K.
I don't see a lot of Capcom.
Anything else from
predictions here.
Capcom?
Not that I can think of.
No. And 2K, I think, is going to be
Lame.
limited. I don't think they have a lot of stuff. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wait, what?
I feel like didn't
2K?
didn't I see something about 2K's booth being a lot smaller this year?
Okay,
I
sure.
don't know.
So not Rockstar.
No, Rockstar never comes.
Oh,
to
wait a
E3.
minute. Wasn't
But why not Red Dead?
Because they never
They
never bring
don't
games.
show their
Wasn't-
shit at E3.
As far as 2K goes, wasn't Borderlands 3 part of that Walmart league too?
That is true.
No,
If that's
I have
true-
Borderlands written on here. Of
Okay,
course.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I think this is absolutely the time to see
And I didn't-
Borderlands.
and also-
like, I was going to mention a Microsoft, but I think Microsoft could have Red Dead because if you look at the time, you typically Rockstar doesn't show up, but Microsoft really needs something.
Okay.
To make themselves look good, making a deal
make
with
themselves
Rockstar
look like they
to
have good
show their
shit?
shit on stage would be like a really good thing for
sure,
Microsoft.
that is the only way you will see it. I'm just
Sure, no,
Yeah.
that's what. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you're going to play it on the floor. Of
No
course
one's
not.
saying that.
But
Nick and I are saying it's just not going to have a big presence.
The last
I think you're also very
The last
likely going to
time-
see Borderlands, which is probably going to be a Destiny like at this point.
It's also
either
probably
on
good-
Sony or Microsoft.
I think
absolutely.
Microsoft
like
absolutely.
Borderlands is still huge.
It'll probably be called Borderlands Royale.
Oh, I'll play it.
I told you, Nolan.
I didn't say battle.
You fucking son of a bitch. I'm excited. I hope Borderlands 3 is a thing. In fact, if it is, I think that's probably going to be 90% of what they're showing at 2K's booth.
That'd be a lot.
Um,
Yeah.
And
We need more Tales of the Borderlands.
If I had to guess, I would say you're going to see that on stage at Microsoft.
I'm hoping that we might see something something new from the XCOM.
Yeah, for Axis.
I would like something new from XCOM.
For Axis?
From the
But
not a new XCOM, but something new
Civilization.
in the vein. No, not Civilization. The XCOM team, but doing something
different.
different. Yeah.
ZCOM.
Well,
You know-
what about the rumored Bioshock game?
Yeah, I mean, it might finally be time for or
The studio that Hangar 13, the studio that was working on Mafia 3, recently had like a.
yeah.
They said they were working in a studio next door to the studio that's working on the next Bioshock game.
Yeah.
So like, sure, yeah, Bioshock could totally be at E3. Also, in regards to Red Dead, Zelgun in chat has a good point. Red Dead Redemption 2 does have a special marketing deal with Sony. So if you were to see it on stage somewhere, it would be Sony. But I don't think Sony needs it as bad as Microsoft. So I don't think Sony would have paid the money
yeah.
to have it on stage. I don't think we're going to see it at all. The last time
do they
Rockstar
have a-
brought anything to E3, it was Agent, and that game was canceled.
Yeah.
And,
We
and it was
don't know.
and it was
That
a
was at a
logo.
Sony press
We
conference.
don't know that.
You shut your mouth.
We don't know
Agents
that.
on Microsoft stage this year.
That's a deep cut.
There is an agent division at Rockstar that's one guy. He's in a corner.
He's working
but
so
he's
hard.
still chugging away.
So Borderlands is going to be full on Destiny.
No, it's
right?
Spy Party.
Right?
What?
Yes.
Do we think
Borderlands?
Borderlands is going to be full on Destiny now?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Okay.
It makes sense. I mean, if
Wait,
if any franchise was going to make the change to go in that direction,
But like, what exactly?
It'd be
I feel like the
Borderlands.
line between Borderlands and Destiny has always been kind of.
well, yeah.
blurred.
I mean, the major difference would be a bigger emphasis on like social spaces
In multiplayer.
and probably like. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say larger open world areas, but
Borderlands already had some pretty
Yeah.
large open world areas. Honestly, I hope this still maintains enough of its identity as like a standalone thing and like something you can play in like independent of other people, because that's like the only way I'm probably gonna play it. Wait, Pocop in chat says the agent website still says coming soon.
Right?
The website still exists?
That guy's still working.
Bethesda.
All right. We're getting to the fun ones. I know there's a lot of predictions
The
for
fun ones.
Bethesda.
Fuck you.
Can I run through some of the community predictions here?
Yeah,
There's a
go
lot of
for
them from Bethesda.
Doom 2 was teased.
God damn it!
Doom do.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Doomed.
Jesus Christ! Maybe there wasn't as many.
Are we going to see the new game from Bethesda Studios, and is it Elder Scrolls?
Oh my God! The agent website does still exist, and it's on Rockstar's website. They
Oh,
haven't
and it's
taken
coming
it down.
to PS3.
It says PS3.
Jesus Christ! There's no active link to that
Maybe
page.
it's become a running joke.
There's no you can't tell me you can go to rockstargames.com and click on an agent link. That's just like an old URL.
No, of course.
Jesus Christ. That's
Hey,
amazing.
Hey, eye on the prize.
Sorry. So first of all, I will say it's kind of a big one getting out of the way. Gamerbeck writes this in. I also saw it pop up from a lot of other people. Illumination brought it up, and I think one or two other people. Everyone's kind of banking on a not only just an Elder Scrolls game, but everyone keeps saying Skyrim too.
It's going to be, they're going to come out Skyrim on your phone. That's
That
what they're
doesn't
going to
exist
fucking
already?
do. No. But that's what they're gonna do.
First of all-
honestly, I don't think we're going to see a new Skyrim yet. I think they have
Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls. Sorry, thank you. An Elder Scrolls.
But here's
Elder
the-
Scrolls Online is still, they're still fucking pushing that hella
But are they?
hard.
But here's the question: like, is that doing it? Is Elder Scrolls Online bringing them in enough money?
Probably.
Because like we've said many times, the last 4 games they've released, although critical darlings, have been all underperformers.
But also because they're constantly fucking working on new versions of Skyrim
They're in
for
the-
new platforms.
I know, but like
I
at this
have
point,
safe bets written down here next.
Don't
to
get me
Bethesda.
wrong. I would not be surprised if they mentioned, "Oh, we're working on a new Elder Scrolls."
Also,
But
I mentioned this earlier in the show, or maybe it was before the show, but Pete Hines today tweeted that their press conference for E3 this year is actually going to be their longest press conference they've ever done, which means it's longer potentially than the first one they ever did. Which, if you remember that one, that was one of the we went to that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one was where they announced they did the first showing of Fallout 4. They did they showed off Doom for the first time
Yes,
publicly.
I remember that.
Dishonored 2 was announced that year. That was a really, really good press
It
conference.
was a good show.
Last year was kind of underwhelming.
It was horrible.
show.
Fuck you.
Evil
Within 2.
we're not going to get another
Brad,
Evil Within.
just because they had one thing out of a shit show does not make the show good. It makes the show a shit show with a cherry on top.
Yeah.
I had other stuff.
I mean, they had Wolfenstein and
Yeah.
and Evil Within 2, but like we already knew those were both going to be
Exactly.
there.
It
Not to
was-
mention, I remember standing in the crowd at that event, and like no one was like, "Hey, look, the Evil Within 2 trailer just leaked," and I was on my phone watching it or something
Yeah.
like moments before it went live on the screen, which was really kind of a underwhelming thing. So
Okay, let me say this. Do we think we're gonna see something new from Bethesda Studios that's not Elder Scrolls or Fallout? There's been a rumored potentially sci-fi universe, which is very exciting
Yeah.
because I think
but
there's
would
a
this
lot
be
of
a new
potential.
IP?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would love a new IP from Bethesda. I'm just worried that they can't fund projects like that until they do something like Elder Scrolls 6. You know what I mean?
Dude,
But they
here's
did-
the thing, Nick. I think they've been getting a shit ton of money
From all
flooding
Skyrims?
in from all these Skyrim ports and stuff that they're putting very little effort into that and getting a lot of money in return. So I think that's what they've been doing is saving up so they can work. I'm not saving up.
Well,
I mean,
they're
that's not how that
also in
works.
the midst
But-
of another online expansion too. For
Is Elder Scrolls
Online.
Online like a really big success for them? I don't know.
I mean, it's probably
fairly
like money.
big.
I imagine.
It's fairly big for them. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just picking like all the people that are excited about Skyrim. Are
So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's the Nick. If they release a new Skyrim, people are going to stop playing Elder Scrolls Online.
you know what would be a safe bet, and they've done it before. What if not necessarily Bethesda Studios, but what if their next game out of Bethesda proper, larger, is a new Fallout game?
You think they would do another Fallout before they did another
Fallout
Elder
Royale?
Scrolls?
Not they. I'm saying a New Vegas style situation
Oh.
where they get someone else to develop a new Fallout game.
And
to
by
kinda
someone else, you mean
hold-
Obsidian?
Well, no, not
No,
Obsidian,
no.
not
It would
Obsidian.
definitely be like Mercury Steam.
I mean, fucking who knows, right? Like what I'm saying is, what if they do kind of another one of these projects with another partner, with another studio to kind of hold people over? Because I feel like that's exactly what New Vegas did, and people love New Vegas.
That is true.
It was a great
People
game.
love Fallout.
I also like
That would be a safe bet that they might need in the wake of all these kind of financial failures that they've been having, or financial underwhelmings.
True. Also, real quick, couple Bethesda
Yeah.
predictions from SMG. We already talked about Elder Scrolls, but he says his deep. So it's not a deep cut. Sorry, not a deep cut. But his out there prediction: new Elder Scrolls game with a release date this year.
Oh.
Doom 2, which will hopefully have a better name
Let's
than
talk
Doom
about
2.
id.
Doom do.
Yeah, let's talk about Doom. So
No, let's talk about id, because wrapped up in this id nonsense is potential Rage 2.
Yes, which is probably the big surprising thing from that Walmart leak that I keep mentioning.
I
one
mean,
that's
it's about
hard
as
to swallow.
surprising as something that's very uninteresting could be.
But okay, so
That's not uninteresting. It's weird.
It's
and that
weird.
makes it interesting.
I guess.
So
True.
you're saying this because you don't like Rage. That's fine.
I
didn't like Doom 3,
honestly,
but Doom was
like,
cool.
I don't
Doom
think I have
4 was
enough
cool.
of an opinion on that game to say I.
And
feel
I
anything
also feel the
about
same way because I got bored of that game after like 2 hours of playing it. But at the same time, like I also feel like if the original Prey hadn't been like 3 hours long, I probably would have stopped playing it long before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they have done such amazing things with their properties the past couple of years that like they could absolutely just like. They could. This might not be called Rage 2. This could just be called Rage and be a completely different thing, like what they did with Prey.
Like a System Shock
It could just be
spiritual
like
successor.
we have this name, let's just use it and do something totally different. Like it might be totally like who knows what the fuck this is. If Rage 2 exists, it could be a totally different
who
genre.
would be developing it?
I mean, it was id that did Rage 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So id
I mean, maybe id.
and Pete Hines is
But
just
there's
kinda
no way
fucking
we would
with
get
us?
Rage 2 and Doom 2 in
No,
the same.
I don't think so at all.
But what about Pete Hines' like really not so subtle hint that Doom 2 is coming?
Yeah. You know.
What did he say in his tweet or
I
in the
didn't see
interview?
his tweet.
He said something about where he basically name dropped the subtitle of the original Doom 2, which
Yeah,
is
well,
what.
Hell on
To
Earth.
it's going to be like Hell on Earth.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
Hell on Earth in
This
an interview.
E3 is going to be like Hell on Earth.
Yeah, like who the fuck says that unless
He
you're
could
trying
have
to
just
tease
been
something?
screwing around like he likes to do these days
Yeah, maybe.
with this Rage 2 stuff on Twitter.
Also, SMG goes on to say Prey DLC details, expecting it to be set on the moon, probably at a facility similar to Talos 1.
Sure.
I mean, I think
It's a little bittersweet since
think we'll
no one cared about Prey.
and we'll never probably get a proper Prey 2. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think we'll definitely get some DLC for it. I would be shocked if there isn't some DLC at E3. And he
Prey
also
Royale.
says, I think it's time for a new IP from Bethesda. I think.
No, it's not.
Wait, what?
No, it's not. Now
You just finished saying you think we would get a new IP from Bethesda. What are you
No. Well, Bethesda Studios doing like a Elder Scrolls formula game, maybe. But I'm saying now's the time for safe bets. I think that's a safe bet. That is a $1 billion idea, like that's a safe bet to do another game like Elder Scrolls and Fallout from Bethesda's main studio. But I'm saying beyond that, the kind of stuff that they've been doing has not been successful. So now's the time for safe bets. And I think a brand new IP from a lot of these other, from fucking Tango or id or who, all these other studios they work with is not a safe bet.
So what did you said you wrote down safe bets? What did you write down under safe bets?
No, what I'm describing is the
Fallout
known
or-
quantities that they know will sell.
What if instead of doing like you have Fallout 3 and then Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, and what if they do Fallout Skyrim?
Yes.
Yeah, might as well, right?
You joke.
What if they did
But
I wouldn't be
Skyrim
surprised.
versus Fallout?
an Elder Scrolls.
Not Elder Scrolls,
Fallout
just call it
cross-
Skyrim.
just-
That's what all
whatever,
people care
sure,
about.
But like a crossover.
Yeah.
Crossover.
One side gets magic and stuff. The other side gets ray guns.
Technology.
Fuck all of you and your stupid crossovers.
That's not stupid,
That's a
Nick.
dope crossover. I mean, how many fucking elves
That's a
and...
$1 billion
I
idea.
mean, they're good games, but like
They're good
the
games,
universes are getting a little
Good
tired.
games.
The universes are getting
They
a little
are.
tired.
They are.
Dark
All right.
elves and fucking
And fucking. Yeah.
crazy post-apocalyptic
Elder Scrolls
junkies.
elves are the worst.
junkies.
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna say. All right, this is what I think we're gonna get. Bethesda. I think we're gonna get a new IP from Bethesda Studios proper, like you just
Hopefully.
said, sci-fi, set in a
Hopefully.
sci-fi universe. I think we're going to get Doom 2. I think that is far more likely than Rage 2.
Doomed.
And not to mention, like, so this whole like Walmart leak thing with Rage 2 and Bethesda has been like tweeting back and like just
It's too jokey to be real.
turning into the skit. I think it might be misleading.
It's
You know-
too jokey to be real.
Talking about like what you were saying about like they need a safe bet with like a known franchise, things like that. How crazy would it be if Bethesda decided to release a Fallout game that was like a CRPG Fallout game, like the originals? If they like went back, I mean, do you think that's something that would have a shorter production time, something that they could
Maybe.
turn around and crank out?
Potentially.
I mean,
and put
remember
out
they
and be
did.
like,
Remember they did the
But who's
what was
that
the vault game?
Shelter?
Yeah, they did Fallout Shelter. Like,
Yeah, but
no, but I'm talking about like
go deeper
a
right
who's
now.
that
full-
for though? I mean, like
I don't
this
know.
is
I mean,
Bethesda. Bethesda didn't make those
we
old games.
live in a
and
world
like
now
Fallout
where Pillars
didn't
of
become,
Eternity is really successful and Divinity's really successful and
but not like Skyrim successful.
Yeah.
Not like Fallout.
right, but this isn't gonna be like a huge like next
Like, they-
$1 billion hit. This is like kind of a smaller but like interesting buzzworthy project to keep momentum going
I feel like
until
that
they get
extends an
their next
olive branch to
monumental
old
hit.
and it doesn't
Fallout
cost
fans
as much to make.
Old Fallout fans hate Bethesda. They hate the new Fallouts. Like, who would it be for?
Well, would that
Anyone who
not
wants to
New
play it?
Fallout?
would that not like appeal to like even if they hate new Bethesda, wouldn't that be a reason for them to come?
I
play
don't
this
think they're
new game?
making any decisions based on what old Fallout fans would like or not like.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fun to New Vegas. Don't fund something that.
No, but like
But there's like those are two totally different things. Like as far as like
Hey, I think it's a fucking cool idea. I just.
yeah. It's probably not likely, but
Yeah.
what
It-
if
question: if we get Doom 2,
Doomed.
has it been long enough?
Okay.
Will it look as appealing, or will it just look like more of the same?
Nolan,
Yeah,
is
that's a good
it
question.
DOOMED or DOOM''D?
But you know what Doom 2 was back in the day?
Doomed.
Kind of just seemed like more Doom a little bit. It had a super shotgun.
Apostrophe D, I think, is the way to go.
Okay, what do you.
I would love to if they do Doom 2. I would love to be like Hell on Earth. Like that would be a significant change in setting. Like if, take the Doom 2016 and bring it to Earth. Like they could do some cool shit with that setting.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. And I wouldn't even need them to change the gameplay systems too much because that played fun as hell.
I would like a new single player Quake from id Software, but not in the like Quake 1 Quake, not fucking strong like fucking Quake 2 and beyond lore. Fuck that stuff.
All right, we need to move on from Bethesda.
agree.
I think you know what. To be honest, though, like Bethesda might be one of the ones I'm most excited to see this year.
So outside of the big three, I don't really have much. I wrote down CD Projekt Red and Valve. They're not big publishers,
I
but
think honestly,
they'll have games
I think Cyberpunk 2077,
2077.
Yeah.
2077.
Cyberpunk.
77.
I think Microsoft is going to try and grab that.
Yeah.
For their
I bet that would be
Yeah.
on Microsoft.
I think
I mean,
that's
they
gonna
do
be a
that with
big-
Witcher 3.
Correct. Yes, I'm saying. I think
I'm just-
Microsoft. That's going to be one of their big fucking sellers.
I'm like hoping to God, like every day, I'm like, please be this. Let this be the day where I get an email from CD Projekt Red. Let this
Man,
be
I'm
the
not
day.
even letting myself think about that game until I've seen it. Like I can't.
So basically, the Sunday before.
I can't
E3.
handle. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't handle
It could be really problematic and overrated, like Witcher 3.
it. That's
Fuck
not,
you.
That's not fair.
You loved that.
You
game.
loved the shit
That
out
was
of that
my
game.
number 3 game of the year.
Yeah,
So
fuck you.
stop busting
But
its balls.
You're like,
Someone's
yeah,
got
I
to.
overrated it.
I mean, I did. It was definitely
God,
from
my
the heart.
tastes are so
No,
pedestrian.
that choice is from the heart. I really hate aspects of that game, like very much.
How many games do you not hate some aspects of?
No. Like I'm saying, I think CD Projekt Red has like serious issues with certain aspects.
Don't get me wrong, Brett.
of
yes,
their game design that they don't. No one's telling them.
Combat is one of the weakest points of that game.
It's more
Yes,
than combat, but yeah.
I understand.
Well,
but
let's
then-
hope that the sword play in Cyberpunk is better.
No, it's not sword play.
No,
It's-
he was more about.
they don't
the,
know how to make a good RPG.
the magic. Yeah,
Like all the systems, loot systems, skill systems. They suck at it. Every single game they try to reinvent it, and it's bad.
Let's not have
Maybe
this
just take all that
conversation
out.
today.
Hey,
What is this, Mass Effect
That-
2?
that-
Easy,
could-
buddy.
That could also be as much a restriction of the lore as
That would be my perfect.
No, because they
as
change it in every
design.
game.
That would be my
but
perfect
it's
Witcher
still
4.
based around the idea.
No
of-
RPG mechanics at all. Just a fucking straight up action
I don't
RPG.
know.
There-
I mean,
there-
Geralt
there-
doesn't have a
there's
flamethrower
very-
in the books.
No, but there's very specific like pastiches to like how the Witcher does his stuff, like with the potions and the oils and stuff for his blades that
See-
like are part of the book that they have to like work in.
SMG is like trolling, right?
Yes.
No,
Whereas
yeah, that's he
Cyberpunk-
did the troll face.
Whereas Cyberpunk started as a game, as an RPG. They just have to
Sure.
adapt that.
No, I think the source
Okay.
material is probably good. I'm worried about CD Projekt Red.
I'm just saying. Like,
Okay.
a lot of
Okay, so
basic
next to CD
design
Projekt Red, I don't
philosophy's
think
been done.
There's
for
no,
them.
there's nothing to predict really. It's
I
going
think there
to be
might
there.
be more than Cyberpunk.
I don't think so.
I
What
don't
would
think
they
so
have?
either.
We're talking about far-fetched predictions. What if they have a surprise?
But what would it be?
Something Witcher related.
But like this, like you mean like what if they brought the equivalent of like Gwent, like that kind of thing?
No,
like I don't know.
no,
well,
just like a
yeah.
smaller Witcher project, maybe a series story, like maybe something like look at like how much effort they
Maybe a
put into
spin-off starring Triss or
Sure,
yeah.
or Siri, like I said, Siri, damn it, Siri, Nick, Siri. Something on the level of like
So Triss.
they did these really fuck Triss.
I know.
I did.
No, fuck Yennefer.
I did.
I did.
Well,
And then I
fuck
lost
you.
both of them. Ugh.
What I'm saying is they put out these two
Broke
really
my heart.
big expansions. Do something on the level of like that size, Witcher related, to keep people happy, keep their bellies full, but have it be
mead.
about Siri and
A young Vesemir game says advanced logic in chat. That sounds cool.
Siri prequel, obviously, because
Yeah.
all the exciting stuff in her life happened before the story of Witcher 3.
Correct.
Is Siri gonna show up in Cyberpunk?
Don't you dare finish
That's
that
the
sentence.
thing. That's the thing. She traveler of
supposed to,
space and
right?
time. She can show up in Cyberpunk.
She could.
That's fucking cool.
That
Like in the books,
fucking cool.
she showed up
now
in
that's
Camelot.
a crossover I can get behind.
Yeah.
Because it makes
That
sense
is
in the
that
lore.
is no different
Yes.
than Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Yes,
Well,
it is totally
I mean,
different.
but they have a lore reason for it. I mean, she showed up in like Camelot, in the books.
Yep.
She can. It, yeah. it's-
So
A mobile Witcher game
Yeah, f-
done in the vein of Yoda stories, in which Dandelion tells you to go on
Shut off
quests
his mic.
as Geralt.
he doesn't
Shut
have
off
a
his
mic.
mic.
You can't shut it off. He doesn't have one.
Exactly. No one can hear him.
What the fuck?
You need his imaginary mic.
All right. All we have left is Sony and Microsoft.
All right. Sony and Microsoft.
Start
Let's
with
start.
Sony.
No, I think let's end with Sony. Let's start with Microsoft, man.
They're gonna have nothing.
Okay. I have written down here they're going to. I think they're going. I mentioned the Avengers thing or a Rocksteady thing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a big comic book thing to counter Spider-Man. I think
Something. Yeah.
they're going to have some big Japanese game thing. Some big Japanese game. Whether it's Onimusha. I think like they did with the kind of Dead Rising. Like they kind of claimed they were going to do with like Scalebound or whatever. And then in the past, they've occasionally kind of found one big like Japanese game to kind of call their own. I think that's going to happen in like a way that
What if they
that makes certain non-Xbox owners upset.
Dude, what if they try and counter Ghost of Tsushima by announcing Onimusha?
Yeah, I think if Onimusha comes back, it could very well be a Microsoft.
This could be
exclusive.
another situation where like just the vicious competition just like benefits everybody. Like because on Sony we get Ghost of Tsushima, we get Onimusha, we get Spider-Man on PS4, we get like some crazy.
I think Capcom is in a position where they need to work with these larger publishers. You know, like they did for Street Fighter, like they did for a couple of their recent projects. They've worked with these big three, I think, to kind of get their games made. And I think it's possible that, you know, like a Dead Rising style situation.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Chris Davis just brought because
is this related to Microsoft?
Well, no, that's not Microsoft. That would be Sony.
That'd be Sony.
Because Neo, you mentioned. We'll talk about that. I'll read that in a second because that's related to Sony. We're talking about Microsoft right now specifically.
No. I'm saying like
Neo Black. That's just
Neo came out on PS4, but
that's just a definitive edition.
But didn't they do that with? Didn't they do the same thing with Ninja Gaiden, where they did on one platform and then did the Black Ninja Gaiden Black?
No. Sigma is the one that came out.
Sigma was on PS4.
Black was just
opposite scenario.
Was just like a definitive edition from back in the day. You know, kind of. You know, but I don't think Neo's big enough to show up on any stage, and I think it's too soon, anyways.
The thing is with Microsoft, just kind of on a broader term, like broader terms. Last year one thing they did last year they did right was they focused very heavily on games.
Yes.
Even if a lot of them were multi-platform, they brought shit tons of games last year, and I think they got a really good response.
49 was that little.
I think it was more than that. I think.
Well, I'm saying that they had a montage of like 49 games.
I thought it was like over 100 when you count like every little game that was in the little montages. I could be wrong.
I think it was.
But they had a lot of games last year at the show.
Yeah.
And I think they got a good response from that. I think they're going to continue that. So we're probably going to see a bunch of multi-platform stuff there. Yeah. But I think we're also going to see maybe some long dormant Microsoft franchises come back. Somebody
like what?
Well, Mr. Greentoast, his prediction is 1, Microsoft will announce a price cut to the Xbox One X, or they will show off a new Fable game.
Well,
which would be
it might be too soon for that, though.
But like they just canceled Fable Legend.
No, they didn't just cancel that. That was been canceled for like a couple of years now.
Okay, so like, why would this not be the time to bring Fable back?
Because the recent rumors were that the Forza Horizon team was working on a new Fable.
Yes,
and if that's the case, it would have to be kind of early in development.
Yeah, remember we talked about the carts being all blinged out.
Oh, that's right. I mean, maybe they'll show like a teaser trailer for it or something, just to get people excited.
Like a Fable Royale.
Do people still care about Fable?
I mean, I think it's been so kind of like in the back of people's minds, like, and not to mention they've tried so many stupid spin-offs that like, if they just announced like a proper Fable 4, especially from a new developer,
I would. If it was a straight up Fable 4, I would be interested.
Yeah,
at least
I would love to see that.
I feel like last year a big kind of surprising success from Microsoft published was Cuphead.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, I think Microsoft's gonna kind of really push kind of like indie prestige.
Oh, they did last year too. They did a huge push on indie games last year. And
not just indie games. I think they're gonna find like that one diamond.
Okay, so one indie game
that's exclusive to Microsoft.
Or what they think is.
Yeah. And you know, we'll probably see the new Ori.
Yeah,
new Ori. We'll see Crackdown 3. We'll see the new Ori.
The thing is, I saw Crackdown 3 behind closed doors last year. Like that game is like in a showable
behind
state.
Closed doors. That was like people were playing it on the floor and like
they had like a different part of the game being demoed.
Like 2 years ago.
That is another game like Skull and Bones that just needs to come out and be done.
Put it out.
God, that's so sad.
Just put it out so we can play it and or not play it and just forget about it.
It's like Spy Party, but like 1,000 people are working on it.
Yeah,
like you have no excuse.
Also, I think this is the year. This is my bold prediction. It's kind of sad. This is my bold prediction for Microsoft that we get a brand new like first party Microsoft IP that they are going to try and position as like the next like Gears of War or Halo. Like this is the year where they realize we can't just keep hashing out Halo and Gears of War because I don't think as many people care anymore. Maybe we'll see a new Halo, or maybe people will be excited for it. But like, I think this is the year they finally try and put out like they're looking at Sony just cranking out new IP after new IP after new IP. We got Ghost of Tsushima. We got Horizon. Like, they just reimagined God of War. Like. I think Microsoft, this is the time for them to say, okay, we're going to introduce a new AAA first-party IP.
A reimagining of Banjo-Kazooie.
I mean,
I think it's
Bearded Murder Dad
who?
Banjo.
I mean, Rare's
Bearded
working
Murder
on
Banjo?
Sea of, Are we going to see new Sea of Thieves stuff?
Probably.
surely,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I'm
they'll
sure
show
that'll,
off,
I'm
show
sure
off
that'll be
new
there.
stuff. Yeah.
I bet
Here's,
that'll
here's
be
a
on
bold
stage.
prediction. I could see, and it'd be too soon, but I could see Microsoft throwing a bunch of money at Ninja Theory
Mm-hmm.
because Hellblade was kind of a surprising success,
Mhm.
critical success. It came out at a time where a lot of people were talking about it, and they need kind of their own God of War a little bit.
Yeah.
And God of War was such a huge success. Again, this
But
would
I
still
don't
be in
think
the early
Hellblade
days.
is like the same level as God of War.
Of
You know
course
what I mean?
not, right?
Yeah.
Because it didn't have millions and millions of Microsoft dollars thrown at it.
But I would argue it is
But Ninja Theory has worked on a God of War clone in the past.
true.
Clone.
What was that game called again?
Heavenly Sword.
Yeah,
No.
Heavenly Sword. Also, I think it may not be in the
thinking
same scale or like polish or budget as God of War, but it did easily get, I would say, a similar amount of like discussion, praise, like
What is-
hype in the industry when it came out. Everybody loved that game, and it was.
What is the game I'm thinking of where you're like death or something? You have like a scythe or something.
That sounds like Darksiders
No, that-
2.
No,
That's
not
out,
Darksiders.
Chris Davis.
Not Darksiders. The one. It was kind of like God of War-y.
You play as Death?
Dante's Inferno?
No, was it Dante's Inferno?
That's a
You did
visceral
have a
game.
big scythe and you
Visceral.
went to hell.
Oh yeah, you did have a scythe.
Dante's Inferno. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that
of.
game was
Sorry,
not good.
Never mind. Yeah, I know.
Although, if Ninja Theory worked on it, I bet it would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love to see what Ninja Theory is going to be working on next. If we do see something from them, I think it very likely could be at Microsoft's press conference. I think if anything, though, it would be a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Because they just put out Hellblade, and I think they were focusing so heavily on that for a long time. But like, I don't think it may not be too early for them to say, hey, we were kind of quietly working on this in the background, and now we're focusing all of our efforts on finishing this, but like, this is it. That could be cool.
Yep.
GamerPeck says Scalebound Revival by Mercury
Shut up.
Steam. You know what's going to happen, guys? Mercury Steam is going to ruin something, or it's going to be working
What
on
if
something.
Mercury Steam puts out Brad's #1 game of this year?
Dude, that would be amazing. Amazing.
What would you do, Brad?
I mean, they've already worked on two of my favorite franchises and couldn't pull that off, so I don't
But
know.
I'm just saying, what would happen if Mercury Steam's next game?
What if this time next year we're talking about Mercury Steam in a totally different light?
No.
Brad, it's a prediction show.
And I predict...
You're wrong.
Deep cuts.
And I predict that you're wrong.
I predict that's not going to happen. Sony.
All right, Sony. I think they're going to do another big push on VR.
I
Wait.
hope so.
What about
You hope so?
Shenmue?
Yeah, I fucking hope so. I hope we get another AAA announcement for
What
a,
happened to Shenmue?
It looks like shit.
Oh yeah,
Shitmoo.
dude. I think we'll see Shenmue.
We all been
No, you
thinking it.
won't. You will not see Shenmue on any stage.
Maybe not
Yeah,
on a
I don't
stage.
think
Ever.
so.
Have you seen the leaked footage?
No.
It looks bad.
Does it
It
really?
looks... Oh, God.
I don't think we'll see anything from Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
I do think they're going to put another big push on VR. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
would-
what games in particular, but it's definitely going to be there. And I don't know if they're going to announce like PlayStation VR 2. The thing is, I know they did just recently come out with a VR, like an upgraded version. But I wouldn't put my bets past like a newer, even like more vamped,
I've got a bold prediction.
like PlayStation VR Pro.
Yeah, I bet we'll see new version of the hardware for sure. My prediction, VR related, is that Sony is going to announce a AAA first-party horror game, new IP,
Another one or another horror game?
like
New
a
IP?
new IP that's going to rely heavily on VR.
But like new IP in VR doesn't get people excited because like almost all VR games are new IP.
But I mean, like a game that you can play in VR out of VR.
I think it
like
has to be
Resident
a
Evil 7,
big
like, you could-
existing IP that has like a,
And if that's the case, I hope it's Dino Crisis.
No, they're gonna announce Final Fantasy 15 PlayStation VR mode.
but
Play the whole game.
But
in
here's
VR.
the thing:
the fishing thing.
almost every year consistently, we get at least one new IP announcement from Sony.
Yeah, usually.
Sure, but let's talk about the stuff we probably know is going to be there first.
Sure.
Okay.
Like the Sucker Punch, Ghost of
Tsushima. Yes.
Tsushima.
I'm excited
first
the
gameplay demonstration.
I'm excited to learn more.
I am so excited
Yeah.
to see what that game's all about.
I'm pretty hyped.
for
That
sure.
was probably one of the biggest surprises for me from last year. Period.
So we saw the tease for what is probably Bloodborne 2.
Yes.
Okay.
The timing is right.
Yes.
My
In fact, it's
prediction-
past time.
Bold prediction. I don't think it's going to be Bloodborne 2.
I do.
I think if it was going to be Bloodborne 2, they would have just come out and said it's Bloodborne 2.
But it doesn't make
I
sense.
think they're
Bloodborne
trying-
was like so big for
It was
Sony.
very successful for them.
Sure, and who's to say we won't get Bloodborne 2 this year, but like maybe it's not that project, like that weird teaser that people were trying to decipher. I think if that was Bloodborne 2, they would have just said
Why?
Bloodborne 2, and it would have been like.
No,
Why?
well,
They're all cryptic and shit.
yeah, I mean,
But I feel like if they were being cryptic, the only reason they would be cryptic is if it was like
the whole,
a new
the whole
if it was
series from software.
Well, Nick, if it's a new IP,
or
why
not
would it
new
matter?
IP, maybe it would have been something totally.
That's what I'm saying.
unexpected.
If it's something brand new, why would you care if you said the name?
That's what I'm saying.
If they just came up with a name and they were like horseshoe,
No.
everyone would
I'm
be like,
saying,
"What the fuck is
I'm
that?"
saying,
guys, I'm saying, what if it's fucking Tenchu, like everyone else is saying?
okay,
Like,
well, not everyone.
I
But
mean, like the only other major rumor revolving around this tease is that it's either Bloodborne 2 or Tenchu.
sure.
Or-
I think that's kind of reaching.
And I
Or
think
themed fishing game.
No,
hold
no,
on,
it's
hold
either
on.
Tenchu or Bloodborne. There's no other
It's
options.
not a new IP.
No, I
because
just-
Shadows Die Twice definitely suggests that it is a return of something, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, Bloodborne was huge. Tenchu has been driven into the ground countless times, and no one likes it anymore. Like, I don't even think From Software owns that anymore. I think that's like fucking acquired.
They've
or
never
some
owned
shit.
it. I don't.
They've
think.
never owned it.
No, they did not. The original Tenchus I don't think were developed by.
They weren't.
So,
Yeah.
to my
They
knowledge.
were
I
developed by,
I
like,
really don't think
Acquire?
that it would be acquire. I don't think it would be Tenchu, but Bloodborne, it just makes so much fucking sense.
It does.
Like, I feel like Bloodborne was that first real time in this console generation that people were like, why the fuck would I own why the fuck would I get an Xbox? You know what I mean? Like it is an important part of the PS4's history. It means a lot to Sony. It was like them realizing, okay, we fucked up by letting Demon Souls go because they didn't even publish that in the West, even though that is a first party title. And
Yeah.
then Dark Souls blew up. They're like, we fucked up. Let's get this back. Boom, Bloodborne. Bloodborne means a lot to Sony. This has to be Bloodborne 2.
I'm not saying that it's not Bloodborne 2. I'm just saying if it wasn't, it's probably Tenchu. Wait,
Stop it, Crispy.
it's not a fishing
Crispy
game.
is
Stop it. Burn in hell.
Holy shit! Oh my god.
I'm not even really
Hell
laughing
rock.
at
No,
that.
you know, fuck you.
That's not a real laugh.
Fuck all of you. It's probably going to be a fishing game, and I'm going to eat my words.
Okay. So,
And also, I do think we're going to see actual, some real gameplay from The Last of Us 2.
yeah.
Yes.
And my prediction is, it's going to be more open world.
But what about
Days Gone.
Days Gone?
Days
Oh,
Gone,
yeah,
man.
Days Gone.
Like
But no, hold on.
so these are both Sony first party
So,
games.
no, hold on.
They're
But
just
they're
shitting
from
on-
different people. But look at Uncharted Lost Legacy.
I'm
Where
sure they're
it
super
was-
tired of that comparison too.
What?
I'm
Days
sure
Gone
the
and
guys
Last of
working
Us?
on Days Gone, I'm sure, are sick and tired of hearing
Yeah,
people
and they're
compare
both
them to.
first party.
But I think
Compare
the
them
only
to what?
thing.
Last of Us?
I think the
Well,
only
they're two
thing.
different games. Hold on. So what I'm trying to say is, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was very successful. When I say very successful, it was a well-rated game. It was pretty good. There were some, linear parts, but then it opened up, and that was the fucking one of the best parts of that goddamn game. And so my assumption is Naughty Dog is going to take what they've done and also open up The Last of Us
I
2.
feel- hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I feel like
fucking hope so.
it might have more in common with something like, if they take what they did with Lost Legacy and kind of expand it out to where it's almost kind of like the way they did God of War, where it's like a big hub area.
Sure, but how could that be at the same E3 that they have to go big with Days Gone?
Do they have
why
to though?
why
They're
don't
doing
they
a
go
huge.
big with both?
They're doing
I mean,
a.
it's got the Game Informer article.
Hang on. So
Yeah, so
the
why do they
last
even need to
couple
do E3?
years, Sony has based their booth
coming out yet.
usually around 3 tentpole titles. Last year it was Spider-Man,
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. No,
No,
it was Spider-Man, Monster Hunter, and
God of War.
Yeah. So they could totally do Days Gone, fucking
Days Gone?
Last of Us or whatever.
This is so stupid. How did this happen? What boardroom at what conference call meeting, whatever happened at Sony, that when Sony Ben was like, "Hey, we're working on a fucking zombie game," that the people at Sony didn't say,
Good,
well,
love it.
Hold on. Well, we have a zombie game. Can you do robots or something?
Or
How did that
Frankensteins?
conversation not happen?
Guys, first of all, I think does anyone here in this room actually think Last of Us 2 is coming out this year?
Zombies are in right now.
No,
No one said
no.
it's coming out this year.
No,
We're
I'm just
it's gonna
saying
have
like
it.
saying like if we see Last of Us 2 this year, I think it's going to be a trailer with maybe a glimpse of gameplay or at least maybe some new story details, but I think that might be it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sure, agree. But it's still like once again undercuts Days Gone.
I don't think it does though. I think the thing that makes Days Gone stand apart from The Last of Us is that it's an open world game.
So they have to push that and stop leaning into the story aspects. They have to say,
But, dude,
this is a systems-driven open world game.
Dude, as someone who watched about half of the video they've put out today,
Yeah.
I haven't got around to finishing it. It does exactly that. Like it shows the whole video is built to like show you how everything in the game works, including the open world, including the biking mechanics, including the combat, the exploration, all that stuff is in that video.
Mechanics.
The motorcycle, yeah,
I'm not
the
saying.
motorcycle.
I'm sure.
bicycle.
Like
All of that stuff will be exclusive or will be unique.
that's
to
exciting,
that game.
but
The art of
this is
Zeds
totally
and motorcycle
like
maintenance.
if Sony, another Sony studio,
Fuck.
made a game about an electricity man.
Yes.
I don't think that's the same at all.
I mean, it's similar.
He's
Don't
talking about
do it.
Infamous.
Are you
Infamous.
oh, I thought you meant like a line worker or something.
No, like another electricity man game. You know,
I'm
or
just saying, like,
You
dude,
know, an electricity
Sony
man.
made
I'm just saying, like, I think it's kind of unfair to like suddenly dog on this one game when like we've been oversaturated with zombie
I'm not
games
dogging
for
on-
years.
I'm talking about the way a company like Sony presents it to the world. You don't do it in the same presentation as Last of Us.
Why not?
And you don't pitch it
Why
as
not
the same
go all
type
out?
of thing.
Why not have Last of Us early in the presentation? Towards the very end, that's when you fucking finish with Days Gone as the finisher, as the big, hey, this is coming out this year, this soon, blah, 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 look how great it looks.
If anything, like I feel
Because-
like Days Gone is like the thing that they're going to use to like satisfy people until they can get their hands on
Exactly.
Last of Us.
But I
2.
feel like the reason people already don't care about Days Gone, which is kind of the sentiment, is because Last of Us.
Why?
And because there's so many other zombie
No,
games.
dude.
So?
I don't think that's the case
love
at all.
Brad, I don't care if a game's similar to another game. If it's a good game, I want to play it.
Sure, but I'm saying there's no hype for Days Gone.
Dude, there's no hype for it because they haven't shown anything
they
of it.
have.
Brad,
They did a big long gameplay demonstration. I think 2 of them.
And everyone watched it, and everyone was like, that looks fun.
Days Gone,
Well,
man.
that's not the way people were talking about Days Gone.
That's not the way you were talking
Dude,
about
No,
Days
I'm
Gone.
not talking.
Okay,
I'm not
we're
even
spending
talking
too
about
much
it at
time.
all.
I
we're
agree.
spending too much time
Where
on
are all
Days
those
Gone.
people that are hyped about Days Gone?
Brad,
Days Gone.
Brad,
Days
here's your homework.
Gone.
Here's your homework assignment for next week. Go watch the video that I started watching today. You were the one who told me about this video. Watch it, and we'll talk about it next week. And we'll see how you feel about it.
Sure.
I feel like
But
after this Game Informer month, where they're doing shit all month long for this game, I feel like after the Game Informer, whether you like them or not, like when they do a big spread and like a month long coverage thing like this, hype for that whatever game they're doing always goes up. Always.
Sure, but I'm just saying, NeoGAF in that era were the biggest Sony fanboys on the fucking planet, and even their message boards around Days Gone were like,
Because nothing new has come out.
And also, they really haven't told us much about what the game is or how it works until now. All we know is there are zombies, and they run at you in like huge hordes, which is actually kind of terrifying. I think that is one thing that separates this game from The Last of Us 2.
hey, I hope it's good. I just, don't undercut it with Last of Us. That's all I'm
Like
saying.
this is going to be like an open world zombie game filled with zombies from like
The nicest thing Sony
from like
can
Left
do,
4 Dead on crack.
the nicest thing that Sony can do for Sony Bend is to have like a small trailer for Last of Us 2 at their E3 press conference.
Man,
And I
And do
think that's
Last
all
of
we're
Us
gonna-
2 bigger elsewhere.
I think
be-
that's what we're going to get.
that'd be a real monkey's paw situation for that team, huh? They're like, oh, we're going to feature you in the press conference and build all that hype. but it comes right before the Last of Us trailer.
That's kind of what it felt like last year.
Or maybe they open with the Last of Us trailer.
I think they're gonna. That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna have both. I think they're gonna have them separate, and I think they're gonna end with Days Gone because you end with your big hype, your big closer, the thing you want.
But
people
guys,
to,
there
like,
is so much
be
more to Sony
ecstatic
than
about.
The Last of Us and Days Gone. So why don't we talk about some of the other things that are probably going to be there?
I hope there's like a first like big gameplay trailer for Psychonauts 2. They didn't announce it at Sony a couple years ago.
I can see them bringing out
and
Tim
Tim
Schafer
Schafer.
to talk about that.
Yeah, fucking because it's gonna be cool.
What do you think about Death Stranding? Gamerbeck brings up another Death Stranding trailer. Do you think this is the year we finally get gameplay?
No,
Why not?
because no.
Because that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I do think we're gonna get. I'm gonna make a hot dog. But I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
What if Kojima releases this game without ever showing gameplay footage?
Weirder things have happened.
What if all they do is show these weird cinematic things, and all of a sudden just the game comes out? No one fucking knows what.
That's
it
not
actually
gonna
really
happen.
is.
Gamerbeck also says, "What if we get a teaser for a new Fumito Ueda game?"
No, he doesn't even. I mean, his next thing's probably gonna be on the fucking iPhone or something. He left Sony during the last Guardian.
He was
so,
he was basically working on it as like a contractor or something by the end of that project.
Yeah, I don't. And like, yeah.
Do you think we'll see a new
No.
Platinum Games game at Sony?
I think you're gonna see something else from Platinum Games in one of these things besides.
I don't know if it'll be at Sony.
Sony's gonna have some surprises. They always do.
Yeah, they always do.
I'm looking forward to that, as always.
You really.
What? Finish that sentence.
You fucking love Sony so much,
dude.
Not Sony, but their press conference.
Their
Yes,
press
their
conferences
press
are always
conferences always
amazing.
get me hyped as fuck. Yes, I'm not even gonna be shy about
Brad,
that.
most of the time their press conference is like the best conference
Six to
of the show.
6 to
That's
midnight,
true.
right? Is that
You're right. I'm not gonna deny that.
They always bring their fucking A game.
But like this guy, like I feel like E3's like I don't care about any of this other shit because I know Sony is gonna suck me off at the end of the night.
I mean, so
I mean, that sounds delightful.
I mean, they're always the last press conference, and historically speaking, they're always the one that gets me the most fucking excited. Always.
They also feed us.
that's
Well,
not has nothing to do with it, Christine.
They didn't last year.
Last year we didn't even get in,
Compromised. Oh,
Yeah.
and I will say last year they were a little bit. Although I think most press conferences last
velvet
year were a bit of a
roped us.
disappointment.
yeah. I feel like last year wasn't that hyped,
Yeah,
but
true that. Fuck you, Brad.
PS5
Do you have any idea?
No.
No, I don't think we're gonna hear about
No.
Pro 2,
No.
Pro 2, Proer,
Proer.
richer.
New handheld.
Oh, okay. Someone
Vita
actually.
2.
Here, where the
It's
hell
gonna be
was
called
that?
the Velvet.
That'd be fucking great, but no way they don't have the balls for that. Or they're smarter than that.
Yeah.
So, Tack also said one of his wild cards was Sony announces a new handheld console to compete with the Switch.
No,
I don't think that's any chance of that happening. I don't think
It's gonna
need
be called the Blade.
I mean,
And
they usually do something stupid. Like they usually make some big bad decision that
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't.
it'd be fucking cool, but it would be a bad decision.
I think it'd be ultimately a bad decision. It'd be something they would support for like a year and
No
they would
one's
just
gonna
let it
compete with the
slide.
Switch right now.
Like they just.
They
like,
already have. They have the VRs. The head held.
I think. God damn it, Nolan. I think the VR is the only thing the only like peripheral they need to focus on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
Switch has their thing. Sony's thing is the VR.
Or is it biportable?
God damn it.
we live in a smartphone world. Don't do it, Sony.
What else? Come on, guys. There's got to be.
We said
yeah.
stuff.
That's all I can think of for
What
Sony.
else do you want? I have a
Banjo,
a reaching one.
not Banjo Kazooie. Crash Bandicoot.
I have a out there prediction.
What's that, Brad?
Sony one for you.
Okay.
This guy's hungry. How about
He wants it.
Okay.
How about
Give us a
you.
chop.
Hold on.
a big new game from Ready at Dawn?
Oh,
The Order 1860.
Order
fuck,
1880. The Order
1886
1886.
was a
No.
critical bomb.
The Order
financial bomb.
2086.
Dude,
So I didn't even hear Brad's prediction.
what if Sony gives Ready at Dawn another chance to do something big?
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot of good work in the past.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot.
Well,
yeah.
a modicum.
For Sony,
Of?
yeah, they made 2 God of War PSP games, which are like two of the best.
But
games
doesn't everybody kind of agree they kind of dropped the ball with the order?
Yeah, no, everyone agrees with that.
Mostly because it was just a big
same
movie.
page.
No, everyone agrees with that, but that doesn't mean they're like a burning trash fire. No, right?
I mean, I did play the game and I did enjoy it. It was just
Although
I wish it was
Ready
more of a
at Dawn
game.
is not owned by Sony. They did like some Squish Balls game or something.
Squish balls.
Some stupid shit. They were like Mad Balls, but they weren't Mad Balls.
Squirmy worms.
What are you guys talking about? I don't even know what's happening anymore.
It's my favorite game.
I think from Sony, we're going to hear about a PS1 classic.
Shut your mouth.
I would love to hear that because
Dude,
they're
that
not
would
on
be
the
fucking
PS4.
amazing. It's gonna be like that big. It's gonna have like a bunch of fucking. It'll have like Suikoden on it.
Oh,
Like
wait. So there is.
and it's gonna be
Bluepoint?
it's gonna be PS
Oh, yes.
WON.
Blue Point is working
PS1.
on another remake.
Another remake that they said is much larger in scope than Shadow of the
I bet we'll
Colossus.
see that. I bet we'll see that this year. But
what?
what the fuck could it be? That could be anything.
Well, it would just be a tease at this point.
Yeah.
A tease of what?
Blue Point's doing another big remake that's larger in scope than Shadow of the Colossus. What could it be? And is it even with Sony?
Like a
It could-
PS2 era title?
No, I don't know.
I mean, it could technically be a Microsoft project. It could be anything.
Also, it could be even PS1. It could be Metal Gear Solid. You know,
But is that
who
bigger?
knows?
I mean, I guess it's bigger in scope, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm yeah. I
But
mean,
no, we've already had a Metal Gear Solid remake.
I know.
Metal Gear
They don't need to do
Solid
that
again. That.
No, not Metal Gear Solid. But what I'm saying is PS1
Metal Gear
remakes are
Solid
hot
too.
right now. I mean,
Like,
the
maybe
Crash did really well. Spyro's coming out.
Maybe Blue Point is finally going to do a Silent Hill HD
No.
remake.
They might be doing like a Jet Force Gemini.
Damn.
I will die happy if
Deep
they're doing a Silent Hill.
Cut. You cut me deep.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Wait,
first of
well-
all, that's kind of
Wait, I missed your prediction. What was the one you did just before the Blue Point thing? You were talking about something.
Ready at Dawn.
Ready at
Yeah,
dawn.
what did you predict they were going to do?
Something.
A new game.
Something. Yeah. Just
That was the
something.
predict. That was it. What fart?
Well, it's either that
what
or
do you
they're
want?
I thought
they're
there
dead.
were. I thought you
Well,
would
like
name
what
something
dormant like Sony first party IP is there?
I don't know. I thought you were going to have an answer for me.
There's not much there.
They're gonna bring back
they're
PlayStation
not
Home.
already-
What
dealing with.
if Blue Point is now making the Resident Evil or not the Final Fantasy VII remake? Like they just like picked it up from CyberConnect and like here make this. I feel like they would have. I feel like they could do it.
Steam remake Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god.
You shut your
They're
mouth.
reviving Monster Rancher.
Yeah. Oh my God.
These are some deep cuts.
Spin a disc. Take the risk. Spin it fast through the past. Unlock it. Claim it. You can tame it.
Monster
Unlock
Rancher
the
was cool.
disc.
Wait, was that really on Monster Rancher?
Yeah.
I love that game. I don't remember that.
That was the cartoon, I think.
Oh my god.
There was a cartoon.
There was a cartoon. Yeah.
I know you could get that main mascot monster by putting in the Eagles'
Yeah.
greatest hits.
Yeah.
There's gonna be at least one like magic game. You know, like one of those.
Magic
Like, come on,
Probably.
Shenmue 3 doesn't exist, or the Final Fantasy remake isn't real. The Last Guardian's back. You remember that year?
Yeah, that was a great year.
Yeah.
Got me fully
There's
erect.
gonna be another one of those.
I know,
They
man.
got,
I
they,
can't
they,
wait.
they gotta have it.
Yeah, it's
I can't wait. Fuck you, Brad.
Yeah, it's funny.
Why am I
Yeah,
not
fuck
allowed to be
Yeah,
excited?
no, it's cool. It's cool. I just missed the days when
I
you
mean-
were like excited about the Ubisoft press conference. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Fuck you. I've got nothing.
You think we'll see any more Spider-Man, or is it?
I think
We'll see a
yeah,
little
we'll see some
bit,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
we'll get our first. I bet that'll be playable.
Probably.
yeah.
But will we see anything like dramatic? I think they're kind of keeping a lot of their
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see
cards
anything
close to the
huge
chest
from
as
it.
far as like story and stuff to that.
I think ultimately
game?
at the end of the day, we throw all this stuff out there. It's going to be way less than what we've talked about here tonight, and way more disappointing. There's
Probably.
still going to be some cool shit. There's still going to be some surprising stuff, but it is not going to be of this quantity. You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
of course. I'm gonna be disappointed if like everything that we just
Yeah.
said doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, we always do this. We're like, oh, maybe Dino Crisis and Onimusha
We just
is gonna
spent the
come
last-
back. No, you're gonna have like a Street Fighter expansion.
We just
You know, it's not.
we just spent like 2.5 hours building
Yeah.
up people's hype. And now we just got to temper their
No,
expectations.
I feel like you got to do that a little bit.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's to conclude, like, hey,
I mean,
we're excited.
In conclusion,
but
none of that's gonna happen.
we've all been to E3. We know how disappointing it can be.
Yeah.
Well, it's not disappointing, but
I mean, it's fun, but there's
it's
always
never as exciting as you build it up.
there's always a small tinge of disappointment,
yeah.
no matter what you do.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be that one project that you were really hoping was there and it's never there.
Man, fuck that. I can't wait to see the crazy stuff that we couldn't guess in 1,000 years.
But
know?
I will be. That's
There's
yeah.
that's
always
like one
something.
thing.
There's always something like
Yeah,
that.
like
though.
like
It'll be
there's
like
always
one or
that
two
one thing.
things.
Like, who the fuck would have guessed Nier was gonna get a fucking sequel?
Yeah.
Like, I hope there's at least one thing like that.
Yeah.
New Animal Crossing game and every copy comes with a live hamster. That would be
Holy shit!
You dress it up. You got a little
All right,
house for it.
I'm gonna just kind of skim through
Put it in
feed.
a Labo box.
I'm gonna
a Labo box, yeah.
I'm gonna skim through.
But it eats all your Labo stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skim through predictions that were submitted by more of the community, and we'll just kind of rattle these off. So the ones that we didn't get around to mentioning. Tack said new Splinter Cell title that does not star Michael Ironside. We kind of covered this a week or two ago, where we said much to our dismay, I think it's more likely we're going to see. Although Splinter Cell was one of the games that was in the Walmart leak.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, how much of that is real, how much of that is fake? I don't know.
So, hey, real quick, what's going to be the first thing that tips off that list? Like the first conference.
Well, here's the thing. So Bethesda's apparently, what I said before the show, I think they are, it's official that Bethesda is gearing up to announce something on Monday, which is kind of building up off all these like teasing tweets that they're doing that are kind of playing around with the Walmart thing, which is kind of playing around with what they did. They marked up first of all, the Rage Twitter account came back online.
Yeah.
And that was the one that was responding to all this shit. So everyone thinks Rage 2 is really going to happen, and now they're thinking they're going to announce that on Monday. So if that happens, if on Monday they announce Rage 2, I think it's safe to say there's a good portion of these games.
It's so
in this
sad
list
that
are
leaked, because even though there's not like this huge fandom for Rage, and it was largely considered a critical and financial lukewarm
Failure.
Well, financial failure, critical lukewarm. It still would have been cool to see that surprise and if no one saw it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Rage is back.
And like I said,
There would have been some inherent excitement behind.
I mean,
it.
I'm excited just to see if it. My theory is that if it does exist, it's probably not going to look anything like the original Rage.
It's gonna look a lot like Borderlands.
Maybe it doesn't resemble the original
I
Rage.
mean, if that
all.
like garish pink is any indication of the like general color palette they want this game's like marketing.
I hope there's still car combat.
Yeah, I would love.
Or what if Rage is just sort of like a thematic thing, and then it's a dramatically different setting?
All right.
What if
Road
similar
Rage?
to like you had Alien? What if the sequel to Rage is Rages?
Shut up, Nolan. Every time you
Predictions.
that's not a prediction. You're the worst.
I like it.
What do you
I
think?
like it as a sequel name, like when they did Missplosion Man.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like that was such a dope move,
Subtle.
right?
Yeah.
You know, you do like. I think it would be nice if a sequel did pull the
Not
Aliens
just
thing
two.
off. I don't think Rage works.
Yeah.
Well, no, Rage is like that's
Raging.
That's
Rager.
That's the third one.
Raged.
Ragist.
Ragist.
Caged.
Miss Rage.
Anyways,
Super,
so what?
Super Rage.
So what do you think the likelihood of Splinter Cell? I think if we don't get a Splinter Cell this year, that series is dead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And if we see it, I think that would be on the stage at Microsoft.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. If we
And
saw
as
it,
far
it would
as
be
the
at
Michael
Microsoft.
Ironside thing goes, that could go. I think it's a toss, but it could go either way. I think we were leaning towards no. It's going to be relegated specifically to.
I'm just imagining Michael Ironside walking out in like a Sam Fisher outfit, but he's all like kind of pudgy and old,
Being wheeled out by his living nurse.
and he has like the goggles on.
Yeah.
Do you know why I think Splinter Cell's...
there's gonna be some embarrassing moments.
Do you know why I think Splinter Cell's done?
Why is that?
Is because they brought it back and rebooted it a couple times, sort of, right?
yeah, at least twice.
And
yeah.
like they've always been like pretty well received. Even Conviction was like critically
I
well
like
received.
Conviction.
yeah,
And then you have like fans even playing like Blacklist saying, "No, this is good." You have the critics playing Blacklist and like, "No, this is good," but like it still underwhelms financially, which means like what are even their options to make people care about Splinter Cell when the people and the critics are playing it and liking it, but still no one's buying
Well, I think
it?
Splinter Cell is
You do a battle royale.
I think
the fuck
Splinter
should
Cell
those people get
qualifies first of all under again,
Some of them.
let me just reestablish. Underwhelming doesn't mean non-profitable. It just means underperform, like not what they expected.
Well,
It's also
2.4 million copies.
It's-
They expected 8 million.
Chris, you don't have a mic. I will say this:
But you heard what he said.
He's-
That's a
yes.
disaster.
they expect. First of all, they expected 8 million. Square Enix expected to sell 6 million copies of the Tomb Raider
Sure,
reboot
but
at
I'm
launch.
saying, like Watch Dogs and fucking Wildlands and The Division and Rainbow Six, all that's doing gangbusters.
I know,
for them.
but like Splinter Cell to me
Why would
qualifies.
they
as-
bring back
Splinter Cell qualifies to me as one of those franchises that is completely funded by other far more. It's usually a smaller in scope project, and it is usually funded completely by their more successful properties, i.e., Assassin's Creed,
Yeah, but I just don't think the hype is there.
Far Cry.
I think it's kind of
Maybe that's why I'm saying like if we don't get it this year, then it's done. But if it is there, I bet you it'll be on the Microsoft stage, and that'll be a big deal. All right.
How old is Michael Ironside?
Old enough.
I still got more predictions here from Tack. He says either Age of Empires 3 or Rise of Nations gets an HD remaster.
Didn't that already happen to Age of Empires?
I'll be honest, I don't
Age
know.
of Empires HD.
Yeah.
I don't follow them too closely.
Yeah, isn't there?
Um,
HD.
Rise of Legends.
Well, he also, his last one, and we didn't mention this, but Horizon Zero Dawn gets a prequel set during the events preceding Project Zero Dawn. I think that is very likely. I think
that's
Horizon Zero Dawn was a very successful
unrealistic.
project.
Too soon. Though.
Oh, I
they're
definitely.
going to give them a lot of
I
time
definitely
to
think
do
there will
whatever
be
they're
another
gonna do.
entry in that series.
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
I don't know.
They could
about-
always announce it.
I don't know about a prequel.
Sure.
I mean, it could be like a smaller like DLC project.
Like an old.
But that is a big deal for Sony now. That Guerrilla finally pulled off something that people really care about, not pretend care about, like Killzone.
I almost called it Kill
So
Switch.
so I think they're gonna treat it like a Naughty Dog or like a fucking like Bethesda or Rockstar. They're gonna give them 4 or 5 years if they fucking want it, right?
Right.
I mean that's what I believe.
I don't
What
know.
if they do try to revive Killzone?
Don't say things like Horizon is
No
like
one cares.
everybody
about
wants
Killzone.
more Horizon.
The Halo Killer.
Mr. Green Toe said Nintendo will finally put
That
out some
first
gameplay
trailer.
of Metroid Prime 4, and it will look bad, or they will do a crossover game with the Switch and phones.
I don't think we'll see gameplay.
I think it's way too early to see
So,
gameplay.
while we're talking about Metroid Prime 4 for a second, do you think maybe they'll have a mechanic where you can switch back and forth between her various suit and like a more like sleeker
Zero
suit
suit
kind of configuration?
No, but that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I
You
hope-
could do it if
I'm
you
glad-
buy.
You know, I'm
You
actually-
could do it if you buy the amiibos.
You know, I'm actually a little worried about. We didn't really talk again into the nitty gritty, but I'm a little worried about Metroid Prime 4.
Why is
I'm
that
not
bad?
sure what they're gonna do with that series to get people excited. Because if another
Release
one comes
it?
out and it just sort of like, first of all, the trajectory. Metroid Prime 3 was kind of not like the first two. It was getting a little weird and stupid. You know, there was like cartoon villains and shit in that game, and then it went real bad.
Wait, which
places.
game is this?
The third Metroid Prime game.
Oh.
Like, what do you do with 4 to get people excited? Because you're not really gonna like visually blow anybody away because it's just the Switch and it's still not super powerful, right? You got when you show that game, you got to really show something new and fresh, like in terms of gameplay or structure. Something has to be fresh with Metroid Prime 4 to get people excited. I think,
No, you're right.
especially because it's not an inherently massive. Zero suit?
Yeah. With a little gun and you're doing like stealthy stuff. But you're weak.
All right.
I know, it's incredible how original that idea is.
All right.
How
Moving
do
right
I do
along.
it?
We got a few more predictions to read off. Scarecrow says... Okay, first, he wrote EITR. What is that?
ITER, that's an indie game that's been in development forever. It looks really cool. It's kind of like old school Diablo looking.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an abbreviation. Cool. ITER.
I mean, not like Diablo 1 looking. Whatever. It's cool looking.
He also says Thomas Happ's next game.
Is he working on something? I know he had a lot of like personal.
What did he
life-
do?
He did Axiom Verge,
Oh.
but he did that all by himself.
Ooh.
And he has personal life issues came up, so I don't
Probably
think
not.
We're
And,
going to see a new game from him anytime soon.
and his last one was Druid Stone by Almost Human, which are the Grimrock devs.
yeah, which that is like a isometric CRPG looking game now.
Yeah.
But I think it's still kind of like tile based. Like
If anything, I think
Grimrock.
you might see that at the PC game show.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like one of those secretly brilliant developers that no one really talks about, and so I really can't wait for that. But
Yeah.
Does anyone know what's going on with Donut County?
I think that's been at a couple like PAXs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like PAX South.
Okay.
But
Bob Guy,
thinking about
cool
it.
looking game. What about Tam, the Keita Takahashi game? Are we ever going to see a new? Is Katamari ever going to be awesome again, or did they drive
think
that
it
into the
could
ground?
I think they drove into the ground.
I feel like it has so much potential.
Katamari in
with
VR.
modern tech, I feel like you could do like some crazy
Katamari in
stuff.
VR.
Probably so.
Battle Royale,
Oh my God, you said it.
right? Whoever gets
Katamari
bigger,
Royale.
think about it. Think about it.
Bob Guy 13 says embarrassing, out of touch presenters and our presentations.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I
of
bet
course.
you
Without a
see
doubt.
someone doing this when they're talking, and they're gonna be like,
Who does that again?
like everyone in the fucking world.
Oh,
And they like hand
Really
gestures.
bad.
you know, this is what people
You're
do
gonna
when
see
they're in
some
front of big
YouTube
crowds.
stars probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh
God, it's gonna
God!
be bad.
Oh
It's gonna be
God!
bad.
Tufty says, in terms of announcements, DMC 5, Elder Scrolls 6, a new Star Wars game from Respawn Entertainment. I think that's unlikely, but who knows? Maybe.
Oh, that's kind of unlikely.
We already covered a lot of this. Resident Evil 2 Remake, Bloodborne 2, Final Fantasy 7 trailer, plus a release date. No, not getting a release date. And perhaps most shocking of all, Forza 5. And there will be an actual car on the stage.
Forza
Wait, they're
5
only-
came out years ago.
Yeah. Aren't they on like Forza 9?
No.
Horizon.
No, Horizon
Horizon.
4 would be what is that E3,
Forza
right?
Horizon.
They're
Yeah.
featuring the German auto
Forza.
manufacturers. Forza 9.
Forza 6.
Sorry.
6
Sorry.
was last year.
I'm sorry.
Forza
We have a few more
Horizon Zero
predictions.
Dawn.
King Carey says, Nintendo's entire E3 showcase floor will be made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duh.
No,
Well, actually, there's probably a good deal of it that will be made
that's
out
a
of cardboard.
bummy look. You don't want to do that.
Not, it'll be
look
like
like a bum camp.
No, but
It'll
if you
be
really
corrugated
like,
cardboard,
if you
Brad.
really like commit to it and make everything look like it's made out of cardboard, it could look kind of cool.
what if they're like building it as we're there?
Yeah. You have to help.
I think Labo is too like on the
au-
side sort
The
of thing.
people that visit the booth have to build the booth.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's too on the side, and it's already out.
He says, realistically, new Smash, yes. More on Octopath Traveler. That game will actually be out the next
Yeah.
month. I don't think they're even.
I don't think they're gonna have.
There's not gonna probably be
it
much
might
of
be
that
on the
there.
corner of a show floor on a booth.
Hopefully that's
I'm
good.
kind of bummed it's not coming out before E3. That'd be the perfect travel game
Yeah,
on the way
would be
there.
good.
It's good.
Mario Tennis, yeah, we'll see more of that, I'm sure. WarioWare, Pokemon, and possibly more trailers for Metroid and Bayonetta. I think those are all pretty safe.
Yep.
Square, okay, I kind of went through all those already. And then he says Devolver Digital, madness. Just madness. There was a game about putting dicks in butts.
You can't really make predictions.
I mean,
about something
genital
like
jousting's
Devolver.
out.
That's
you
why
know.
he just went with
Digital.
madness. I like it.
Yeah, sure. They do cool stuff.
Yeah.
They have fun.
I think that kind of covers Serious Sam 4, maybe.
It's
Yeah.
already announced. Also, who cares? I mean, I would like them to make a new Talos Principle.
Yes,
because,
thank you.
Like, Serious Sam might be literally the dumbest game, while Talos Principle is like maybe the smartest game. So maybe do another one of the cool.
And our last prediction comes from Prince of the Universe. He says, in all caps, F-Zero, which might be the retro game, and Power Stone 3. I think one of those is more likely than the other.
F-Zero. Yeah.
And I think
can see it.
F-Zero... I've heard a lot of people bring up F-Zero when
That
talking
could be
about retro.
because when you talk about Diddy Kong Racing, I can't really see that because Mario Kart, but I can see them doing like an F-Zero game on the
For
Switch.
sure. And that could be really cool.
Yeah.
That could be
Football
cool.
in chat keeps talking about Bully 2.
Oh,
I would love a Bully 2,
Shit.
but I don't think you'd see that
What
announced at
if
E3.
on the Switch they did F-Zero Royale?
I will fucking fight you, Nolan.
I mean, it's just a bigger race.
All right.
No, that was actually a mode.
We have reached the end of our show.
It's like multi-day.
Are we
race.
I
gonna-
did say we were going to do Patreon questions. It's a bit late.
Could I? I didn't even read them yet.
We could. How many do we have?
Like 8 maybe. I can go through
Can-
just
can
quickly
we-
some of the shorter ones.
Wait, why don't we?
Huh. We
Well,
can always save them for next week,
What,
too.
or we can bank them and then do like an all question show. In the next couple weeks. when
Or
we have
at least an
nothing to
all
talk about.
question segment.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it is, a segment.
Yeah.
But whatever, that was just an idea. We could save them and do like a dedicated show to them or whatever. But
We gotta make a decision.
We can make
Like I
that.
said, I could just. There's a couple I could read off now, and if people want to re-ask these questions, they can. Some of them I honestly wouldn't answer on a real show.
Let's do it.
Umos, what's the last in-game cosmetic you paid real life money for? and was
Never.
it
I have
worth
never
it?
paid real money for in-game
Tales of
cosmetics.
outfits.
Yeah.
Lots of Tales of outfits.
I think the only thing I've ever paid real life money for was a couple of Last of Us items in the
Tales of outfits.
multiplayer.
They created skits like
Shut up, Brad.
story
Quick.
sequences
This
just
is already
for the
taking too long.
different outfits.
Christian, you got anything?
Wait,
Well, then why are we asking them?
I bought like $5 worth of Overwatch loot
You've
boxes
talked about
during
it so
the
many
event,
times.
and I got that fucking dope Hanzo skin. So
Burnsy asks, "Is a hot dog a
that
sandwich?"
wasn't out yet.
No.
Oh
Yes.
God! Why?
Also, we've answered that.
Yes. Oh my God, you guys have such a narrow view of sandwiches. Yes, it is.
No.
What?
Yes, it is. It totally is. What is the defining principle of a sandwich?
Two pieces
Two
of
pieces
bread.
of
It's
bread.
a piece of starchy bread. I
Two
mean,
pieces.
I would call a taco a sandwich. I would call
No.
a burrito a variant
No.
of a sandwich.
I would not call
It
a
is-
taco a
it is-
sandwich.
It is a stable starch in which warm, cold, wet, dry ingredients are placed for convenient handheld eating. That's a sandwich, man.
Hot dogs aren't cold.
No, but I'm saying cold or warm, dry or wet, doesn't matter.
Carlos says it's a sausage taco. Fuck you.
Wait, what?
A Sacco?
He said
Tacos count.
a hot dog is a taco, but a taco is not a sandwich. Okay, which means a hot dog by definition is not a sandwich.
A sausage taco like they sell at Torchy's. That's pretty good.
Zlade, if you guys probably asked this before, have you ever bought a game just because you liked how it looked?
All the time.
Yeah, definitely. Nick,
Pretty
all
much
the time.
exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
yeah.
to be honest, more often than not, I don't regret.
Dude, that's how I.
decision.
That
You
is
don't
exactly
regret?
how
Don't
I
regret.
ended up losing.
I very
200
rarely
hours
regret
to,
spending money on games.
to Team Fortress 2, just based on the art style. I was like, what is this?
I mean, it's not like I see it's not like I see an art style and say, I love the art style. I'm gonna buy that and play it no matter what the gameplay is.
you know, we never talked about Valve,
Borderlands?
even though I wrote that down here.
Valve?
What?
Is it not time for a new Half-Life?
It's been time for
Fuck.
decades,
You
Brad.
think they're gonna do a Half-Life
Okay,
3?
but we did see a lot of leaked like emails and stuff referencing a new Left 4 Dead. It's got to be time for a new Left 4 Dead.
I don't think that. I don't think Valve is in the business of making like their
They
own video
said
games.
they're
anymore.
in the business
No,
of making
yeah,
games.
and you know what they did right after they said that? They started buying up all these other studios to make the
Well,
games for them.
They bought one. And they already announced to get. Listen,
No, it's
Team
not
Fortress
happening. It's not happening.
might be time for Team Fortress to come
It's
back.
not happening.
Portal?
I don't think Valve makes video games anymore. I just think
we
that
are already playing Source 2 games.
I think that is a simple fact.
Well,
Okay.
regardless, if Valve announces a real one of their games, it's instantly a big deal.
I think we should save the rest of the questions for next week
Okay,
because there's a lot of them, and as you can tell, we already want to get into.
that's fine.
We already want to debate whether tacos or sandwiches or whatever.
No,
But
the
they're not,
debate's
though.
over. I've got the answer right here.
And you found.
I'm on the Wikipedia page for hot dog.
Wikipedia.
A
For hot
hot dog, also spelled hot dog,
Merriam-Webster's, or-
also known as a frankfurter, sometimes shortened to frank, dog, or wiener, is a cooked sausage traditionally grilled or steamed and served in a partially sliced bun. It is a type of sausage sandwich.
It
bullshit.
doesn't say that.
It's a
I
Wikipedia.
swear to God!
It's Wikipedia.
He
You
just edited
added
it. He just edited
I did
it.
not edit this.
I saw it.
But
I don't
somebody
even know
like
how to
you
do that.
did. Somebody
It is
like
a look. There's a page for sausage sandwiches.
Do you know why, ultimately, I think you can't consider it a sandwich? Because if those two pieces of bread unhook, it's a disaster. You can't even eat it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be two pieces of bread. You can take one slice of bread, put peanut butter in it, fold it together, and it's still a small peanut butter
You put
sandwich.
peanut butter on a hot dog? You're just
Well, Brad, it makes it easier to slide it down your throat.
Don't knock it till you try it. First of all. Second of all, that's not what I was talking about.
I don't think that's a sandwich either. I think that's a fucking baby snack. You fucking eat that while you're playing Spyro the
Okay, but
Dragon.
what do you-
Next
what
thing
do
you're gonna
what
tell
would
me
you
is
call
Hot
that?
Pockets are sandwiches.
Peanut butter bread?
Like fucking bullshit. Baby bullshit.
Dude,
Go
it
play
doesn't matter.
Spyro.
It's a sandwich.
I'm just gonna fade this podcast
It's a
out while we're talking
fucking
about
I
sandwiches.
don't,
sandwich.
think, I don't think it's. I think it's fucking. I don't think it's a sandwich. I mean, you know, a piece of toast ain't a sandwich if you fold it in half.
Yeah, it kind of is.
No,
It kind
it's
of
toast.
is. I mean, if you think about it, a piece of toast with anything on it is just an open-faced sandwich.
No, it's toast.
An open-faced toasted jelly sandwich.
All right, so Crispy, would
What?
you take a piece of bread,
Yeah,
put some mayo on it,
sure.
and call it a sandwich?
If a mayonnaise sandwich, if you folded it,
That's
sure.
disgusting.
Sure. Look,
Okay,
I
so if you fold
look,
a
it is,
piece of
it
pizza, is it a sandwich?
It
Or is
is
it pizza?
It is the bare minimum of what a sandwich is. I would typically say a sandwich probably has 2 ingredients, like a hot dog and mustard. But come on.
So as long as
It's a
if
sandwich.
it's just a wiener
sandwich.
in a bun,
Oh my
it's not
god,
a
do we have to
sandwich?
look up the definition of sandwich now?
And fade out.
Wait, but if you put your cock in between 2 butt cheeks, you don't call that a sandwich.
Wait, I thought you were gonna go with put your cock in between 2 pieces of bread. Do you call that a sandwich?
Yeah, it's a New York dog. And if you diarrhea on it, it's a Chicago dog.
God. Oh my god! Oh my god! This is over. This is over. This podcast is done.
Chili dog, not chili sandwich.
Holy
Chili.
shit!
Right, a chili dog, which is a variant on a hot dog, which is a type of sausage sandwich.
Guys,
You got to have 2 people with one in between to be a sandwich.
you have you. This is not. Guys, reminder: this is not a porn site. Holy shit! Are we ready to? Can
Yes,
I close
let's-
this fucking
please,
show
Nick,
out?
please.
Guys, thank
Thanks.
you so much for being here. Everyone who's watching us live, you can find us at 4playernetwork.com. You can find all of our podcast episodes there. You can also watch us stream games every single night at 4pp.tv. You can catch us on Discord at discord.gg/4player. And of course, if you're interested in supporting us financially, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player, of which we will be updating, making some mild updates here shortly. So look out for those. And like I said at the beginning of the show, if you listen to the show on the go, if you're a subscriber, if you listen to it predominantly as a downloaded audio podcast, email Nick at 4playernetwork.com and let me know how you get your podcast, how you subscribe to them, how you would like to see us improve our the way we provide or distribute our podcast. I would love to hear from you guys. Does anybody have anything else in closing?
Good night.
E3
Is a Philly cheesesteak a sandwich?
No.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm working on it, Slade. I'm working on
It
the new
absolutely
merch.
is.
I've got so many things.
A Philly cheesesteak?
That will be done before E3. I swear to God.
served in a hoagie roll.
Good
that's
night, everybody.
sliced, not all
Don't
the way
forget,
through.
new podcast next Thursday night. We'll be talking about more video games. Of course, E3 2018 is in just under a month, and we'll be announcing our plans for our coverage of that show very soon. Good night.
Bye.